Ah, good Lord Almighty. Gentlemen, professional wrestling fans and friends, and sports entertainers and enthusiasts galore, get ready for a clash of epic proportions as worlds collide, as we see who is the best as we go all out across two of the biggest entities in all professional wrestling, bringing for the first time in a long time I can remember a triple threat weekend as we discuss all things wrestling here on what's sure to be the longest No DQ Galaxy predictions panel. So, hello, everybody who watches this on live or on demand. You know what this is. For I am the Simplin, and my name is Noah Foster. With me, as always, is the No DQ Galaxy predictions panel. Two of the fellow horsemen here that have been with you guys since day one ish as we talk all things wrestling and literally predict all things wrestling. And tonight, in cooperation, not monetized, but brought to you by the No DQ Review, Impact Wrestling, Championship Network, Red Team Productions too. But go feel free to check all that stuff out too. Enjoy your first night your way you choose to as well. We are here to predict in full all three of these shows: NXT Worlds Collide, WWE Clash of the Castle, and AEW All Out. Before we get into the festivities, let's go ahead and see which show piques these two guys' interest the most to a degree. And I will start with he is definitely a great friend and fan. He came on to the NoDQ Galaxy and has been with us ever since. And he has definitely been doing well in the Predictions League too. And yes, I will have Prediction League leaderboard updates either during this video or some point after this weekend too. I might even do a live little thing. Always a pleasure to be with the head of the table, Representative Christopher Rotz. Chris, how are you, my friend? Are you ready for this weekend? And if you are, what show are you most looking forward to?
I'm definitely looking forward to this show. Both events with WWE and AEW. I'm looking forward to everything this whole weekend. I'm giving each show 10 out of 10. That's how pumped I am for this event. This is Triple H's first premium live event that since he took over WWE head of creative. So we're going to be in for maybe another surprises, a lot of unexpected twists and turns along the way. It's going to be a fun, epic weekend. And I can't wait to be here watching it and enjoying it with you guys and my brother and my family, my friends. I can't wait for it.
I love that excitement. That's all I wish to encourage. No matter what you watch, no matter what you enjoy, just enjoy wrestling. Sign of the industry for life by that fan at the AEW arena. Respect. With that being said, he is a guy that runs his own wrestling corporation that encourages engagement and predicting. He is the leader, the founder, the creator, the brainchild of Meltdown 316, and I give that a hell yeah. He is also a Skyrim player for you gamers out there. And a bowler. My great friend, Jeff Chadwick, the leader of the Wrestling Roundtable. Jeff, how are you? Good to see you once again. What are you looking forward to the most this weekend?
Uh, well, 5 years of following NXT UK, and UK is coming to a close. I'm actually very curious to see how they're going to work this with Worlds Collide, NXT versus NXT UK. All titles between the two shows are going to be unified, and something tells me we're going to see quite a few surprises during the show, as we did on NXT last night. All these people coming back, saying their little thing to the champions, and it's going to be one hell of a card. All of them are, to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to every one of them, but the one that's really piquing my interest is Worlds Collide, and see how they're going to run with this.
All right, and I definitely respect the notions on all three shows. As you all know, I watch all things wrestling, I engage in all things wrestling, I follow all things wrestling. It's why I created the ATW crew. Shout out, of course, to my ATW family, and of course, the Enforcer Lex for creating this logo, and the platform I created, the ATW View. Plug. That being said, I always appreciate engaging with welcome friends and fans of wrestling, whether it's NoDQ, ACW, Championship Network, or above and beyond that too, with the good, genuine, open-minded, considerate fans that I've discovered in the internet wrestling community. There is good in and out of this industry, folks. And for those of you that are tuning in, as I see a little too above me, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. And who knows, maybe I'll even give you some Impact Wrestling commentary degree too, as I do have another screen off to the side here, because again, I support Impact Wrestling. I support the little people, and Dion Peraza versus Marshall Slamovich. Let's fucking go. Without further ado, though, guys, we got a long night ahead of us, and I'm sure we're going to go into different tangents too. This has truly become our own platform. Let's get right into it. And folks, again, your opinions matter too. I have prediction leagues across AEW and WWE and Impact Wrestling, and there are forums now for all three of these shows that you see behind us that will be discussed tonight live on my Twitter as of right now, and they are in the description down below. Get them in. And don't worry for those that are confused by the times, because it is all over the place. I will also give you times and deadlines to help you as well. So, the first thing we will discuss, as I try to keep it in chronological order, we will show some class for a very special premium live event that marks a milestone in the WWE history that hasn't been seen in a very long time. As we look at the belly of the Red Dragon from Wells, as we have a clash at the castle. This is going to be something very unique to say the least. It has been, I think, at least, 30 plus years we've had something of this magnitude in the UK. And again, thank you, NXT UK, for an incredible 5 years professional pro wrestling moments, fun, entertainment on an hourly basis. It's been a hell of a ride. I'm intrigued to see what's next as you are reincarnated into NXT Europe in 2023. But to those that stand, for those that leave, thank you again and forever. We are NXT UK. Now, with that being said, we're going to talk about Clash of the Castle. And again, it's a unique card to say the least. And folks, your opinions matter too. The forum is live. Get them in. And shout out to, as I will be talking about, y'all's picks, the 24 of you that have been so far included in this part of the WWE Predictions League. Included, but not limited to, of course, regulars, Charlene, Cody. Hey, Jeff, I see you. The members of the team like David Diaz here, Casey Flynn, I say my preacher man friend, TJS, freaking idiot. If you don't understand that reference, go check out the No DQ panel. With all due respect, I love that guy. He's good. Blake Riley and Ronnie Holt and Sean Gosako, the No DQ Super Saiyan, who's also leading the league. Oh, God, you're too smart. And, of course, Charlene, among others. So, folks, as you can see right here, you have until 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this Saturday, September 3rd, to get those picks in, and you can change them up to that time, too. But as soon as 12:30 hits, your picks are final and official, too. There is no turning back. So with that being said, if you guys are ready to first discuss this show, let's get right into it with this first match. And Jeff, you can kick this one off, because for me, when I look at professional wrestling, damn it, but I digress. Buy my shirt. I'm Jeff Beacham Network. Thank you, Jeff. One of my favorite aspects of all things wrestling is women's professional wrestling. And there's no doubt in my mind, since Ding Dong, hello, she stepped through that door at SummerSlam, there's been a fire lit underneath at least the Raw women's division ass. And now we're going to see how she collides with the EST and a couple of friends, so it seems, since they fell short in the tournament. As we have 6 women tag team action, as Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's Champion, tags alongside Alexa Bliss. Do not worry, my Alexa is not in this room. And Asuka taking on Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. And pretty much the writing is itself. These two literally collided starting back at SummerSlam with Bayley and her crew, took out Becky Lynch. We've seen the confrontations. We've seen Io Sky and Dakota Kai. That's a mouthful of Dr. Seuss. Basically collide to a degree. And now we have basically, battle lines drawn. For me, though, I look at this match as one thing. Building the next challenger for the Raw Women's Championship. And I feel that has to be a key component in this. So, Jeff, take it away. Your thoughts on this 6-woman tag.
Well, it's not only building for the Raw Women's Championship, but you have two teams there that can build for the Women's Tag Team Championship between, Io Sky and Dakota Kai and Bliss and Asuka.
Right.
And I think this is, of course, we all know this has been building since SummerSlam, and this is a match that I'm really looking forward to see. The women's division as of late, even just WWE in general, has been on fire. And thank you, Triple H, by the way. We really appreciate this.
I will not deny that.
And this match in particular, you have 6 completely different identities. how it's going to work, what we'll find out. I mean, yeah, I'm sure that someone's going to clash somewhere. It could be on Bailey's side. It could be on Blair's side. We don't know. But this match right here, you got 6 of the top contenders in the company. In my eyes, you got 6 of the very best in that ring right now. And
I'd argue.
yeah, yeah, we haven't seen Bailey wrestle maybe once since her injury, but she is still one of the best in that locker room in this match. 6 of the best all around. This is going to be one hell of a match. I've got the good guys taking this. I'm going with Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss, but it's not going to be an easy fight. This is going to go probably, I could see it going 20 minutes. If they really want to focus on the women's division, which they're starting to do, they're not having all these short matches anymore. Now they're actually having something lengthy, 15-minute matches, which I love to see this because the women need to be as much in the forefront of this company as the men. And this is a good match to start. So I've got the good guys doing this in about 20 minutes.
All right, fair point. And again, for all we know, this could be the mutual opener, but also in the UK, you look at this entire field, you don't really have any UK representation. You do have Japanese representation. You have the land down under with Australia, and then you have America. So that being said, Chris, the Notiku Galaxy, they're in the majority of Damage Control here. I guess that's their name, so I've heard. So what are your thoughts towards this 6-woman tag? And in my opinion, I'll just keep it short because I already said it on the live actual NotiQ panel, and this is about the Galaxy, not about me and about wrestling. I think that Bailey's team's going to win. So you're the difference maker, the tiebreaker. What's your pick?
Well, my thoughts on this match is that this is going to be a good match. I'm going to go with Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky to win this match on Saturday. I do believe either Bailey or Alexa Bliss is going to be probably the next challenger to face Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship.
All right, simply put. And again, I feel like with the fact you got this town not being defended and nobody really built up to be Bianca Belair's next rival, Bailey was the one that confronted her. I think that literally with Team Bailey winning, no matter who gets the pin, although it would be interesting to see Bailey actually get the win for her team on the champion. I feel at the next Premium Live event, they could definitely book Bailey versus Bianca Belair, and there could be a hell of a program. So that's basically my thoughts on why I also believe that Team Bailey is going to win too. All righty. Let's go ahead and keep moving forward for this little shindig here as, damn, I did not think this could get more personal as it's gotten seriously physical, but boy, was I wrong, bro. As we have a grudge match here between Mr. Cackling Drip himself, Seth freaking Rollins, will be taking on Matt Riddle, who apparently got his first name back. About damn time. So basically, we've seen what this has become. We saw at SummerSlam where, again, brains overcame basically your heart overcame your brain, excuse me. As, of course, we've seen how emotional Matt Riddle has been against Seth freaking Rollins when it comes to not only talking about Randy Orton, but also talking about himself. To the point they've insulted each other's family values to a degree. But I look at the match like this. Seth freaking Rollins lost the Royal Rumble. You remember that? Seth freaking Rollins lost at WrestleMania too. Cody. Seth freaking Rollins lost at WrestleMania Backlash to Cody. Seth freaking Rollins lost to Cody at the Red Crate of Hate with a torn pectoral muscle. Seth freaking Rollins lost at Money in the Bank. Last year at SummerSlam, Seth freaking Rollins lost to Edge. Has Seth freaking Rollins had a single major fracking win this year? Now, truth be told, you could say he's the guy to put people over. Okay, well, Matt Riddle's already over. He's already challenged freaking Roman Reigns for the championship. You don't get more over than that. Tag team champion with RK Bro. And I will admit, RK Bro was one of the most entertaining things that I have seen on Monday Night Raw in a long damn time. But for me, and considering what the next Premium Live event is, I think back on what I said, and right now it feels like Seth freaking Rollins is in a new program, and it's going to get the win here. I have Seth winning by hook or by crook, maybe a stomp on the neck. Is Matt Riddle truly 100%? That's my thoughts. Chris, According to Nordic Galaxy, most of the galaxy is with the Bro. 63% to say the least. But where do you stand in this grudge match? And what do you think it could lead to?
Well, I feel this is gonna be a good match. Seth Rollins and Riddle. This match was supposed to happen at SummerSlam, but Triple H decided to pull it because Riddle got hurt. And I personally believe with Seth, he hasn't even won a premium live event in 2022 yet. And I'm pretty upset about that. And personally, I think it's time Seth gets the win here. And I do maybe see this being a trilogy with Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle. Maybe at Extreme Rules, we might get an Extreme Rules match
Oh,
between
that'd be obvious.
with these two. And then at Crown Jewel in November, if it goes into more personal, I will lock these two up in a Hell in a Cell match. So I have Seth freaking Rollins coming on top victorious.
All right. Jeff, is it me or does the Hell in a Cell seem like the overplayed endgame to a degree, to the fact that even the gimmick premium live event itself almost kind of makes the gimmick scene less meaningful to a degree? So whether or not you think that could be an endgame, once again here, do you see finally a victory this year on a premium live event for Seth freaking Rollins?
I don't. I see. I don't see this match. I don't. The only person who's lost more matches when it comes to pay-per-views right now is Baron Corbin, who hasn't won since he beat Kurt Angle. That's how long it's been since Corbin's won a pay-per-view match. But that's another story. Seth, you're getting there. You're getting there. I've got Riddle taking this one. I think that with the comments, especially after the comments that Rollins had made to Riddle when the interview was done this past Monday, the exclusive that we saw, that bringing in how his wife left him and took the kids and everything.
Ouch.
You know, this has lit a major fire under Riddle, and I think personally this is where this match is going to start. Not even in the ring. I mean, I don't think Rollins is even going to make it to the ring. He'll come down. I think that's when Riddle's going to attack him. You make this personal, and in 90% of the time, it's in favor of the one you're insulting. So, as much as I'd like to say that Riddle will get a victory here, I just don't see it. I mean, not Riddle, Rollins. I just don't see it. Riddle is going to take the win, and Rollins is going to think twice on this. I mean, he really stepped over the line when it came to this, and you don't bring in family. I mean, we've seen this angle before in many different matches where if you bring in family, usually the one who's gotten it brought into is the one that comes out on top. This one's going to be the same. So I've got Riddle to win.
It's almost like Seth freaking Rollins is Monday Night Raw's whipping boy. I mean, yeah, he'll kick your ass, but when it comes to when it actually matters, he's the guy that literally gets his ass kicked and loses that major match. You know, on a major premium live event like this, I can understand where you might be coming from. You know, fun moment. Again, neither man from the UK. But I'm sure Riddle will have a unique entrance that will definitely appeal to the crowd, to the sports fans of football, and the drunkards per se. So I can understand where you're coming from, and I do understand personal animosity. But again, when emotion drives you, that could lead to mistake. Could be your greatest strength. Could be the ultimate factor to your defeat. This is one of those that I could see go either way. But right now, with neither man having anything else to do, yeah, I just don't see this being a one-up, and I see Seth freaking Rollins getting the dupe here too. I don't see this playing out the same way as with the Cody program, where it was 3 in a row. I could see it being 1, then 1 more, or 2 and 1 more. But something tell me these two are not going to be done after this. So that's why I said Seth freaking Rollins. And I'm sure the entire 60,000-plus people in the castle will be proud conductors for the Monday Night Maniacal Messiah. Just saying. All right. Well, again, I talk about, UK. I talk about, coming home. I talk about maybe momentum. We talk about family and how far family goes. Tell me how far it goes in this tag team match. Or does someone finally face their last judgment? As Edge and Rey Mysterio tag together. Boy, I never thought I'd see this again. Against the Judgment Day. I'm, of course, talking about Damian Priest and Finn Balor, who is definitely no stranger to the UK. However, Dominic Mysterio will be in Edge and Rey Mysterio's corner, but Rhea Ripley will be in the Judgment Day's corner. All right, let's just put it out there. The number one thing we're waiting on is Dominic to turn, okay? He's turning on somebody. It has to be happening. Whether or not he joins Judgment Day, that's a whole different angle to a story that could happen. But the question is the biggest factors in this story. Rhea Ripley being the crap out of the kid. Dominic Mysterio being a bit judgmental towards as far as decisions. Does that finally bite them in the ass? We saw what happened on SummerSlam when Edge literally raised out of hell and allowed, in a no disqualification affair, the Mysterios to get the win. But since the Judgment Day now has been getting a bit more forward traction on Monday Night Raw as a staple part of the show, Finn Balor with a new entrance to a degree, and I still think Rhea Ripley's literally leading this program too, and I feel like she should. And Rhea and Finn are going to be cheered, I feel, to a degree. I feel it's going to be a little bit bizarre world. Judgment Day needs some sort of victory, okay? I understand feel-good moments. I understand how big this event is, but I'm thinking about storytelling going forward. And the biggest factor in this story is Dominic Mysterio. Whether or not he costs them, emotionally driven, or whether or not it's by some sort of mistake that Rhea Ripley reinforces. Either way, I feel the Judgment Day needs the victory, and I'm going with that. Jeff, your thoughts on this match?
Well, you got you pretty much took what I was going to say. Dominic is the deciding factor in this, and I do think that he is going to turn, but not before we see somebody come out. Because right now, I mean, we know Dominic can't touch Rhea at all. Rhea can like do that to freaking Dominic, but Dominic can't do that. Don't be surprised if Aaliyah, remember the birthday party? Don't be surprised if Aaliyah doesn't make an appearance in this and distracts, the referee or whatever while she's doing whatever with Rhea. This is when Dominic will turn, is when the referee is turned, focused on that, Dominic turns on his father. And I think that this is the perfect time to do it if he's going to do it. We seen the jealousy. We saw it in his eyes. We heard it in his voice when they were talking about teaming up. Where's Dominic in all this? He's sitting on the sidelines. You could see that something wasn't right and something was starting to click up here. So it really would not shock me if that was the case. I am going Judgment Day on this.
All righty. Chris, we know Edge is the creator of the Judgment Day. Now he wants to destroy the very thing that he created. And we've also heard recently in his going home that maybe this is his last year in wrestling. He wants to maybe retire back in his home turf too. The biggest thing for me also here, though, is we saw Beth Phoenix. Yes, I understand they were in Canada, but I was literally looking forward to Beth Phoenix and Edge doing mixed tag team action again. And you talk about Aaliyah, Jeff. I think Beth would be more interesting as an X Factor here. And this is how you get some sort of devolved 6-person mixed tag team match. Either way, though, the Judgment Day have not had a serious win on premium live event since pretty much Edge has come back to get his vengeance. Right. Needs to come back. Just saying, WWE. Hey, Triple H. So, Chris, your thoughts on this match, as right now it is literally 3 against 1 in favor of the Judgment Day. Where do you stand?
Well, where I stand on this match is you have Edge and Rey Mysterio. They are back teaming up with one another, and it's been a very long time since we saw Edge and Rey Mysterio as a tag team, and it's going to feel good on Saturday to see that.
20 years.
Yeah.
It's been 20 plus years.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to feel good to see those two back as a tag team. You guys are right. Dominic is the X factor in this whole entire match. We don't know what side Dominic is going to be on, with Edge and Rey or is he gonna join the Judgment Day on Saturday?
Or going to business for himself in general. How far does a
And
kid be in his father's shadow?
Right.
and personally, with Ray not picking Dominic as his tag partner in this match, I feel like in a way Dominic is inexperienced and he needs to get out of his father's shell and finally say, "Hey, I want to do things on my own. I want to learn stuff on my own." And I think this could be the perfect place to do the turn. And then you have down the road, maybe father versus son down the road. That's going to definitely happen here.
Mhm.
If they do the turn, it'll be good. If they don't, then we're going to have to wait and see when they're going to be doing the turn. As far as the winner goes, Edge, this is his first premium live event match since Hell in the Cell. And personally, Edge wants to destroy something that he created, and that's the Judgment Day. And
Right.
I'm gonna say this as of now, I think Edge and Rey Mysterio beats the Judgment Day.
All right. Fair enough. Again, it's one of those matches where you think about X factors coming into play and how the story develops. It could go either way. But again, Dominic Mysterio needs to do something with his career sooner
Yeah.
rather than later. That's all I have to say about that. Good stuff. All right, well, let's keep moving forward as, again, the Clash of the Castle still has a lot of bad blood to bear, including a hell of a fight, fella. But I am not going there yet, as I look at women's professional wrestling once again with someone that literally will fight and maybe kill somebody, to say the least, to gain a championship or break an arm. You tell me. As finally, the Shayna Baszler I remember from my NXT brought out a killer instinct thanks to Ronda Rousey and that face. Don't become a business complacent employee, Shayna. Looks to take the SmackDown Women's Championship from Liv Morgan. And I think it's safe to say that Liv Morgan has become from a fan favorite to a more so desperate heel, trying to cling to her precious to take a page out of Golem and Lord of the Rings. There's some UK terminology for you. So here's the thing. Hi, Jeff. I look at this match, I think about this. Shayna Baszler, she's finally becoming that Baszler we know that was the ultimate badass that stormed everybody on Monday Night Raw and got the shaft during Pandemic WrestleMania, better off forgotten. Since then, kind of just been going for the motions, towing the company line, while Ronda Rousey's been the prototypical WWE babyface, even though she's a badass MMA fighter, and that fell flat. But we saw shades of the real Ronda come back at SummerSlam, where referee opposition, call what you will, Liv survived that match. Period. And
Yep.
since then, she simply says, I will do anything to hold on to this title to a degree, even if the fans call out her bullshit. And they have quite a bit, as you've seen. But we saw most recently how Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey made sure on the Rapids Ronda Rousey is suspended, allegedly, kayfabe-wise, but paid her way, ready to get back into things, ready to break bodies. So I look at this one of two ways. Does Liv do something desperate? Once again, does Shayna lose her cool because Liv exploits that and Liv holds on to the title? Remember, championship advantage cannot change via counter disqualification. Does Ronda Rousey come back and Shayna and Rousey go into business for themselves, destroying everybody in WWE? Championships be damned. Or does Liv Morgan actually surprise us and survive and out wrestle Shayna Baszler worse than a roll-up like Becky Lynch? For me, I feel Shayna Baszler deserves this. But Liv Morgan, again, is the one we fought for 8 years. We want her to get her moment. She's living it. Maybe not the way we expected, but she is living it. I feel she's going to continue to do that. Again, champion, all you got to do is survive. And again, do what you need to hold on to the prize. I feel Liv somehow leaves with the belt. And keep in mind, in our predictions leagues, only thing that matters, championship matters, is who leaves with the gold. I say Liv does it. Chris, your thoughts on this match?
Well, this is all about Liv Morgan and Shayna Baszler. all this past superstars that has fought Shayna Baszler got beaten up or they survived. And it's going to be one of those two things that is going to be the playing field on Saturday. Liv Morgan wants to out wrestle Shayna Baszler to the degree that Shayna Baszler loses her cool and Shayna Baszler says, what did I do wrong? I'm going to tell you this. The past superstars, they survived Shayna Baszler. Liv Morgan wants to survive this Saturday. And this is the thing. If Liv retains, then I know down the road we're going to see maybe Ronda Rousey, Liv Morgan again. If Shayna wins, then this is what's going to happen. Are you going to do maybe still at WrestleMania Ronda versus Becky? Or if they don't want to do that, you could always keep Shayna Baszler as the SmackDown Women's Champion, and she takes on Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania instead of doing the Becky versus Ronda match at WrestleMania. That would be the better build, and have Shayna and Ronda fighting for the championship at WrestleMania if they don't want to do Becky versus Ronda. That's a scenario I have in mind. Everybody's been wanting to see Ronda versus Shayna. I know Triple H, he's high on Shayna Baszler when he was down in NXT. Shayna Baszler was like the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion. And I think this is Triple H's WWE. We don't know what's going to happen. We're going to be intrigued. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to go with Liv Morgan to retain this Saturday. I'm personally, Liv is going to retain, and Liv is going to survive Shayna Baszler. And that's all I got to say to this.
All right. Well, Jeff, apparently everyone believes right now, or majority believes, that Liv will live a moment. Whether it's a moment she wants to forget, that's a different story. I do like the intriguing idea of Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey going for WrestleMania when I think about sports-eccentric MMA fighters being the ultimate fight in WWE over a championship. But is it better for Ronda and Shayna to be enemies or allies? That's another thing to think about. You talk about the Becky Lynch factor. We don't need to worry about that for a while. She's legitimately injured, dude. She's going to be gone for months. So right now, let's just look at the picture here. Liv Morgan, Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey, hidden factor. Does it come into play Saturday afterwards? Does it come into play next week on SmackDown? Who's to say? Jeff, what's your thoughts towards this match? Who leads with the gold, and what do you see maybe to unfold?
Well, what I see is first of all, I saw a video of Rousey and Baszler training together before taping a SmackDown.
Yep.
They were training by the ring. It didn't seem like Baszler was taking it seriously, but she says, I got it, and she wanted to try to do the move, and she's like, I got it, and tried to convince Ronda of this. I think she might get it, but I think Liv is going to squeak by. And this is only going to infuriate not only Baszler, but infuriate Ronda Rousey to the point where we would have a new women's tag team. I see them tagging, not going against each other at WrestleMania. I see them tagging as a team finally, after all this time of us wanting this. I mean, I'm one of them that's wanted Rousey and Baszler to tag. I've wanted this since the Four Horsewomen versus the Four Horsewomen. I mean, come on. We had it. It was teased. It never happened. This is the next best thing. What team out there could beat Rousey and Baszler? There is none. WWE does not have anything that could do this.
No.
So that's what I see happening when it comes towards WrestleMania. I see them as a team. But I digress. This Saturday, we are going to see Liv squeak by yet again with a victory and hold on to that SmackDown Women's Championship. And it will be probably some outside interference that might distract Baszler, where it would be another roll up, but it
Oh,
wouldn't be a
God.
tap. It wouldn't be a tap during a roll up. I think it would be a straight out roll up. Hell, Liv could probably put her feet on the ropes and the referee not see it.
That's
I
true.
mean, any way you look at it, any way to squeak by with a victory. What is it? What's the old saying? Cheat if you will. No, win if you will. Lose if you must, but always cheat.
Yep.
I'm okay with this if Liv keeps the title and uses those ropes to hold on to it. So something like that could happen where Liv keeps the title. And I'm thinking that something fishy is going to happen where Liv will walk out still the SmackDown Women's Champion.
I mean, if it really comes down to screwy finish, you might see another referee get brutalized and Ronda Rousey coming in for support. Be like, that's the killer I remember. Right. So, again, you might be onto something. But right now, it just feels like either way, Liv will somehow live through this moment, still leaving with that strap. Whether or not her arm's broken is another thing. Again, that exclusive at SummerSlam, she was lucky to be able to move that freaking thing as she was in pain. Right. And it looks like a majority of the Nordic Galaxy agrees with us as well. 62% believe in Liv Morgan, while 37% believe in Shayna Baszler. Again, folks, your opinions matter. Join the leagues. The links are in the description down below. Get those predictions and opinions in. As let us know your thoughts in the comments or in the chat also. All right. Well, good stuff, guys. Now, let's go ahead and move to what I think could be not only my match of the weekend, but my match of the night. Clash of the Castle. International spectacle. And now, finally, freaking finally, since WrestleMania 37 in that fight, we finally got legitimate, authentic, realistic, supported, invested interest in the Intercontinental Championship with a hell of an Intercontinental Championship match coming forward. Buckle up for this one, and God help Sheamus' chest. As I'm just putting it out there. The Ling General, I will always say Walter, screw W naming conventions, bite me if you disagree. The Ling General and current Intercontinental Champion Walter defends the gold against Sheamus. The Intercontinental Championship, ladies and gentlemen, is on the line at a premium live event. Before I say anything else, thank you, Triple H.
Yes.
But I digress. Thank you, Triple H. But I digress. All right. Enough being nice. So, again, we know what this stems from. Of course, we saw that Walter took the title from Ricochet. Since then, he has been absolutely dominant. Continues to be dominant. And we recently saw a great match with Shinsuke Nakamura for the title. Shinsuke fell short. We've seen Sheamus right now. He has all the accolades galore. He is definitely well respected, and he definitely has earned his keep in the WWE. The only thing he hasn't, though, which ironic, really, for the Grand Slam, is this very championship, the Intercontinental Championship. And now these two are going to fight, not wrestle. Fight. And I agree with the same team. This is going to be a banger of a match for the Intercontinental Championship. As we know, it will be, of course, let me see here. Marcel Bartel, remember his original name, against Pete Dunne on SmackDown. And that could really give us some ideas of what to expect as far as outside accomplices go. What I really loved about this build is the fact that while, there was a brawl going on, it was just Sheamus and Walter ignoring everything. They were just blind to the rest of the world as the fight got around them. That's how you build a match to be serious. Screw the rest of the world. Only thing that matters is you in front of me and what I'm coming after, too. I will say this. I have tremendous respect for Sheamus. I'm sure he's going to get a hell of a homecoming to a degree. But the Ling General held down NXT UK and is tremendously respected. Walter deserves a long-running title reign with this belt. What he did with the NXT UK Championship, he could do with the Continental Championship and even take it higher than that. And the aspect of him and Pete Dunne renewing hostilities over this just pleased me even more. For the first time in over 2 years, I truly am genuinely excited and care once again about the Intercontinental Championship. This personally is going to be my match of the night. So that being said, you know what I live by. The mat is sacred, and the sport deserves to be respected. I got Walter retaining. Jeff, your thoughts on this brutal fight that's ahead? Who comes out on top with the gold?
Fight isn't even the word I would use to describe this. it is going to be a Donnybrook. It is going to be. It's. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't see blood. To be honest with you, this
On the
is
chest,
going to be
I'm
brutal.
expecting. I'm expecting on the chest, freaking like veins popping out.
Yeah.
I'm expecting that, especially from base white Sheamus. Let's just put it out there.
I was just going to say this will be the only tan the guy's ever seen. But being serious, Walter, 800 plus days as champion, asterisk on that one. But nonetheless, the longest UK champion in their history. Sheamus has not won the Intercontinental title, as you said, and his career it's going to be over. I mean, he doesn't have much left. I mean, he acts, he's doing his thing in the ring still, but he's pushing. He's in his mid-40s. He's getting up there in age, and I don't think he's got much of his career left. So this is the only shot I see of Sheamus getting a chance for the four banger here. So I, as much as I'd like to go with Walter, my heart, I got to go with Sheamus. He needs to be. He needs to get this championship and complete the Grand Slam. He has to. It's the one thing in his career that's eluded him. He's been King of the Ring. He's won Money in the Bank. He's won the Rumble. He's won the WWE title. He's won the tag team championships. He's won He's won Big Gold. He's won everything but the Intercontinental Championship. This is his night. I got a gut feeling you are going to see, and it's hard to say upset when you're talking about Sheamus.
Right.
This is an upset victory, and you will see a brand new Intercontinental Champion in Sheamus.
Sometimes you go with your heart versus your mind. I understand that, especially when it comes to my NXT.
Yep.
Again, Chris, Safety summed it up perfectly. Banger of a match.
Yep.
Meat on meat. Going to slap the shell out of each other to a degree. But the majority of the NoDQ Galaxy, 83% believe that the champion will retain. So, Chris, you're the tiebreaker. Are you with the majority or, like Jeff, and I know you followed Sheamus for a long time too, do you believe that Sheamus will achieve the Grand Slam in the castle?
Well, I know this is going to be it's not even going to be a banger. It's not going to be it's going to be an awesome match, but I'm going to use this word that we haven't even said on the panel video tonight, is this match is going to be a war on
I respect
Saturday.
That. I respect that.
Between Sheamus and Gunther. This is going to be I feel this match is going to still clash at the castle between Gunther and Sheamus. Sheamus. That the Intercontinental Championship is the only championship that he hasn't won in WWE, and he could complete the Grand Slam champions on Saturday. But I don't see it happening. I don't see Sheamus winning Saturday. I would keep the Intercontinental Championship on Gunther. He's doing an amazing job. And we know Survivor Series is all about Raw versus SmackDown. I'm looking forward on seeing Gunther versus the almighty Bobby Lashley. I want to see that match happen instead of Bobby Lashley versus Sheamus.
That I agree with too.
Personally, Gunther and Bobby Lashley will tear the house down. Bobby Lashley and Sheamus, kind of not a good match, to be honest. So Gunther and Bobby Lashley is realistically going to happen at Survivor Series in November. So Gunther has to retain the Intercontinental Championship here.
Well, I mean, with that aspect of a match that I would love to see that also be a first time ever, I do like that as well. And honestly, like I said, if Survivor Series has one title versus title match, it should be the mid-card championships because they should each have their own identity. And you see who the stronger is. And maybe they could turn this to a nationality thing, but honestly, I just want to see who the strongest professional wrestler is. So I respect that. All right. Well, we've had some good stuff. Before we get into the main event, again, folks, let me remind you, I have links for all these matches in the description down below. Your opinions matter too. Come join any of the leagues. And again, this is the first of our trios events we'll be discussing tonight. So again, get those predictions in. You have till 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday afternoon, September 3rd. And stay tuned for my live play coverage on the Jeff Meacham Network and so much more too. With that, just want to remind you one more time, as always, just enjoy wrestling. Again, sign of the industry from that fan last night at AEW Dynamite.
Absolutely.
But I digress. All right. With that being said, we talked a good amount of time for the Clash. It is time now for this premium live show's main event. We have seen the teases on a certain man's Twitter. Is the undisputed Universal Champion out of time? Will he say goodbye to his double title reign? Will Drew McIntyre slay the ultimate dragon in WWE? Or once again, will Roman Reigns prove why indeed we should always, when he says, acknowledge me, take part and agree? This, ladies and gentlemen, is your main event at Clash of the Castle, as Roman Reigns defends the let me get this right, because the naming convention, undisputed WWE Universal Championship, I got it, against Drew McIntyre. Seriously, why do they not have a single championship that looks like that? I don't even know yet. Now, you guys know how I feel about Roman Reigns as the dual champion. I feel like he's literally held Monday Night Raw hostage because Monday Night Raw does not have a flagship championship, nor the flagship champion on there every week. When it comes to your main TV shows, you need to have the guy, the champion, presented, acknowledged, recognized each week on your freaking TV. Raw doesn't have that. And while they have push things like the women's tag titles and the mid-card title to a degree, it still doesn't stack up when it comes to the championship. And if it's not Kevin Owens, I feel like it's blasphemy. With what Drew McIntyre has been saying on Monday Night Raw about what he would do if he has the championship, what he would face, where he would go, etc., 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 and just the marketing, everything about this show. I could talk about this all night, but again, we still have 2 more shows to go. And this man's wearing the shirt, which is why he's going last. Jeff, I'm not saying anything else. Your thoughts on this match? Are we going to get something huge achieved? Or once again, will Drew McIntyre face broken dreams?
Well, my thought still stands where Roman's not going to lose that title until he faces Cody. I have that solely embedded in myself. As much as I would love to see Drew finally win it, do what he, win a title in front of fans and stuff like that. Because, he was our pandemic champion and he did a phenomenal job with the title. Now he's going to be in his own country with 60,000, 70,000 screaming fans. It's you want to go for Drew. I mean, that's the thing. It's in his country. You go back to the Intercontinental Championship with Bret Hart and British Bulldog when they were in SummerSlam 92. The home guy won the title. Mm-hmm. Now, you would think history could repeat itself when it comes to the Universal Heavyweight Championship. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening. And I see Roman holding on to that title and possibly holding on to it as long as he can, beating Aldis, who had over 1,000 days, which means he could hold it maybe another year. I mean, to me, Drew is the biggest threat right now to that title, if not Cody. But I don't see, and then this is one of those where I go right down the middle, kind of, because part of me wants to go this way, part of me wants to go that way. But I think that you're going to still see the head of the table being acknowledged when it's all said and done, and holding those titles over his head. Which I agree, that design in that little picture that you showed should be the way the title should look. Now, to me, I know Triple H has whole new designs for belts. That could be one of them. That right there could be one of them. And I'm hoping it is, if that's the case. If not, bring back the eagle. please bring back the eagle. That's all I'm asking.
You know what? People could ask about the ego, the attitude era, the big gold belt. None of those three things I truly believe will ever come back again.
Yeah.
So I understand your pain as a fan, but it is what
Yes.
it is. We
Yeah, I
got to
know.
move forward. Can't live in the
Yes.
past. All right. Well, Chris, you heard his stance, and the Nordic Q Galaxy right now are 2-1 in Drew McIntyre winning. He did bring up a great retrospective in history. Will we get that ultimate feel good, go home moment for Drew McIntyre, who was denied that during the pandemic? Is Drew McIntyre truly the chosen one to now lead the WWE as the undisputed Universal Champion? Has Roman Reigns met his match?
Well, all this week, I've been listening to Drew McIntyre's old theme song, Broken Dreams.
I'm not surprised.
I've been listening to that all this week. And I hope he does come out with that song on Saturday.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it again. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, I had to worry about 8 long years with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And I finally closed the book on Brock Lesnar. And yeah, if I want to revisit it, I will revisit it. If not, this is the thing. I could pick Brock Lesnar on a premium live event prediction video. I could be like his personal whatever. And be a fan of Brock Lesnar again. Yeah, it still hurts what he did to me in the past, but in my life, I have to move forward and move forward in my life. Now with this one, if Roman loses, it's going to hurt me a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt me a lot. And come Sunday, I'm not going to know what it's going to be like on Sunday morning. But overall, it's going to be a great match with Roman and Drew. I'm a huge fan of Roman. I'm a fan of Drew McIntyre. He did everything he could to be a pandemic champion.
Yes, he did.
And now with the opportunity Drew McIntyre has, wants to be championship and win it in front of fans, I think he does deserve it. He deserves everything in his power to be that guy, to be the role model that everyone can look out to. But the thing is, we're talking about Roman versus Drew here. We are passing Austin Theory. We don't know what Austin Theory is going to do here. Is he going to cash in and be the youngest WWE undisputed Universal Champion? I told him to see his way out of it at SummerSlam. He never listened to me. But he better see his way out of it this time around. Overall, my heart is saying Roman. My mind is saying it's time to finally end Roman's title reign. It's finally time to end it. He had a hell of a ride as undisputed WWE Universal Champion. I give Roman 100% credit for everything he has done. If with him being his part-timer, he's doing this because he wants to probably spend time with his family, his kids, his cousins, and just spend time with himself, life, and everything. This Saturday, if it's time, it's time. But I don't see it being this time right now. I'm going with Roman Reigns I'm going with Roman to retain on Saturday night. And we're going to still acknowledge Roman at the head of the table, the tribal chief. And I'm going to throw this out there. I'm making a bold prediction here. at the end of Clash at the Castle. This is going to probably set up not Extreme Rules, but it's going to set up Crown Jewel in November. This Saturday night, we're seeing Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, return this Saturday at Clash at the Castle.
Will you and TJS stop that? They would let him in, but he doesn't want to go in. Obviously not yet. Will you stop depending on a dark entity defrauding the tribal chief? It's not going to happen.
Here's the thing. I have.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi. I have heard the rumors. The rumors are out there about this. How about this? If for some reason Chris is correct, Noah, you have to acknowledge him. If for some reason,
give me a no DQ shirt finally.
I didn't go that far.
He hasn't won a bet against me yet. You really want to continue that streak? I'll go double or nothing with you. If Bray Wyatt actually shows up, you get 2 from me for free. You got a deal.
Okay.
I'm glad I could settle this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Jeff Chadwick, the dealer.
That's right. But no, 730 days as champion right now. Sitting right now. Actually, 731 right now.
Yes.
You know, I said it would be nice to see a new champion, but, you know, I don't think it's going to happen as much as I wanted to.
It needs to happen. Rock doesn't have anything. Kevin Owens is back to be an NXT prize fighter. He wants everything. You're teasing the idea of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going after the freaking tag team championships. Right. You need something for Raw, and there's nobody else in the WWE for Roman, and Raw versus Roman doesn't need a damn title.
But what if he's right about Theory? Now, you know who's starting a fight here with Theory lately, right? Theory, Gargano for the title.
Okay, that could be something, but I.
You know, if Theory wins the title, if he cashes in correctly and successfully, we already know his first feud is going to be Gargano.
True.
And Gargano being heavyweight champion on the main card in WWE, that's something he's always dreamed about. Could that dream come true?
Triple H is against part-timers, and also Fury is a Paul Heyman guy, so I definitely could see that program being closely worked. I get what you're saying as far as that goes. But it still sounds like, regardless, we're figuring that Roman Reigns needs to freaking drop at least one of these titles. And let's put this in perspective. Since these titles have become held hostage together by Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in a match that was called an audible, let's just put it out there. The WWE Championship has played support player. The title that has 50 years of legacy in this company being played second fiddle to a blueberry strap defined only by literally a handful of men, and none of those other men even matter considering Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has defined the Universal Championship. He has not defined the WWE Championship. So seriously, unless Paul Heyman puts a loophole in the contract where Monday Night Raw McIntyre has both titles, but has to relinquish the Universal Championship unless he does it willingly, like Keith Lee did with the freaking North American title when he won the NXT and North American title on the same night. That's a mid-card and World Championship at the same time. The bottom line is Raw needs that head star to be the champion. Now, whether or not they still go with a single champion on both shows, I'm fine with, but they need to be on both shows every damn week. And that's the biggest crutch here. Roman doesn't do that.
Right. USA did say that they want a title on Raw. That they have said that.
I don't need another championship debut that just has a big W in the middle that gets booed out of the building when the Universal Championship was first introduced in 2016.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, with them saying that, that makes you wonder if Roman's going to drop one of them. But in this match, it's both titles together. So if he is going to drop one, when is that going to happen? Because USA wants a main title on that show.
Well, something needs to give, and I personally believe and think it should happen Saturday in Wells for Drew McIntyre because he put in the work and he deserves it. Period.
I won't argue that.
64% of the NoDQ Galaxy agree with me, so you are in the minority, Chris. That being said, good stuff, guys, so far as we finish covering Clash the Castle. Again, folks, let us know your comments. Let us know your predictions. Get your predictions in. Some fun little opinions here. Can't wait for it. A big return happening, possibly Fiend. Chris, was that you? Never bet against Roman. Well, I just did. Yay. Dominic will turn. Charlotte Flair return. Wait a second. Whoa, that's a bold take. Charlotte Flair returns. Someone did not know how to spell Fury. They said Fury, like Tyson Fury. Fury interferes with Drew. I hope they weren't referring to that Fury. Enjoy the weekend, folks. All right. The bottom line is this. Classic Castle is going to be something very special, and thankfully, it's the only thing we got to worry about on Saturday. But the biggest thing that needs to happen out of this show is you continue elevating the Intercontinental Championship.
Yep.
And you redefine the guy on both Raw and SmackDown that holds the championship. And that's all I got to say about that. All right. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen who watch this on live or on demand, thank you for tuning into part one. We will now immediately go into our next part as we look at now a brand that has finally come to an end. So it seems. Maybe reinvention is to be. I don't know. But for now, that title will continue to stay on that mantle because, damn it, that was a hell of a run and a hell of a show. The Black and Red's finest, their champions and champions of former, now collide with Splatoons coming up as the Rainbow Splash clashes with the Black and Red to define the true ones to ride on in this blank canvas logo you've noticed of this NXT as the worlds collide. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Triple H, he's at it again. We are going to see what happens now, redefining NXT. Worlds Collide is ahead on Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as I said, I'll say it again, your opinions matter too. Get those predictions in. You got till 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday to get them in. And so far, I see that 16 of you have joined in the fun and festivities too, including but not limited to Big G. He may be always happy to be here. And he's a good friend and always a great panelist on the review. And go check out the Noted Q review if you want now too, folks. I see Steve-O. Jeff, I see you. I see Atomic Cody. I see Dwayne Atkinson. Bacon Space. Great name. Will Ospreay Guy. My brother in ATW. Oos. Indigo. Benji. And, of course, Shane Wells, a.k.a. Chumbawamba. And now I got Tug Puppet on my mind. But I digress. All right. With that being said, I will say this. You guys know I don't necessarily watch Not My NXT. But there are still a few people there that were from my NXT. And there are remnants of my NXT definitely shown off to a degree. There is promise in some of those great men and women on that stupidly Skittles splash explosion color entity of a wrestling product. But I look at this card, and I will admit, this card does have shades to be takeover level worthy of a watch, just from the matches that I have seen. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And again, most of these matches, they're all regarding championship unification, which I find very interesting. So let's go ahead and start with this one, as we will combine the NXT UK Tag Team and the NXT Tag Team Championships in a fatal four-way elimination Tag Team Championship unification match. As you have the former, and might I add, I think, longest reigning NXT UK Tag Team Champions, Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy. You have the current NXT Tag Team Champions in Ohio represent, the Creed Brothers of Diamond Mine. You have these brawlers out of a bar in Michigan, it seems, as the NXT UK Tag Team Champions. How the fuck did that happen? And Josh Briggs and Brooke Jensen, they're okay. And then you have the Iron King, leader of the firm, Gallus Boys on top, former NXT UK Tag Team Champions, former Heritage Cup winner, Mark Coffey. You got the definitely emotionally volatile Wolfgang, and the Iron King, who has always had to prove that this is my kingdom, challenging formerly for the NXT UK Championship, but coming up short. But again, he is the Iron King for a reason. He has the Iron Will. I'm, of course, talking about Joe Coffey in one of my favorite things to come out of wrestling ever lately, NXT UK, Gallus. Again, boys, this is a four-way elimination match, so literally everybody has to be eliminated or for somebody to win both these straps that will be combined into one. Something tells me this Worlds Collide is going to give us some actual new unified and defined championships for a blank NXT canvas. So I am intrigued, and there is some suspension of disbelief even with me. But I look at these 4 teams, and I'm just going to say one thing, and then I'm going to pass over to somebody else. Gallus boys on top. They deserve it, in my opinion. I want to see Gallus run NXT. Creed Brothers had a good run in this Rainbow brand. Again, I don't think the Rainbow brand is going to be the same again, and that's why I'm definitely intrigued. I don't see Pretty Deadly having a chance. And I still feel like that Briggs and Jensen, yeah, they're still a little green, and not the green of Gallus. So I'm going with my NXT UK boys in the firm, and I don't even drink, but I'm going with Gallus boys come out on top and come out as the unified champs. All right, Jeff, what's your thoughts towards this match?
Okay, well, first of all, bring up the image because I'm going to tell you the order of elimination. Because I've got this all figured out. I've got this all figured out.
All right, go for
obviously,
it.
Obviously, it's going to start off. And out of these 4 teams, which one is the least experienced? You're going to see Briggs and Jensen go out first.
I can see
okay, so that eliminates them. Secondly, you're going to see Pretty Deadly go out second.
Yes, boy.
Which will leave Creed Brothers versus Gallus. Now, if you remember in that little skit, Gallus attacked the Creed Brothers and Diamond Mine, so it makes sense to have these 2 battle it out for the ultimate prize. And I, along with you, will say that Gallus is going to come out on top, and they will be the new undisputed NXT Tag Team Champions.
Alrighty. Now, Chris, you and I have not talked in quite a while about anything NXT, so I'm very curious to get your take. And also, I don't think I've ever asked you this. Did you keep up to a degree with NXT UK? And also, as I asked you this, who is your pick?
Well, I did not keep up with NXT UK. I didn't even I did not even watch it because I was like busy with work, and work is a priority, and money is always
for
good.
passions, as I live by. Continue.
But in this match, and I did watch the NXT UK takeovers. So Jeff, that
good
face
man.
expression, you could wipe that off.
All right,
fine.
Good man. I wasn't going to say anything, but seriously though, dude, who's your pick to win this match? And here, let me help you. The No DQ Galaxy with the 16 that have come in, 75% have picked the Creed Brothers, the NXT Tag Team Champions, while 12.5% picked the Gallus Boys on top. 12.5% picked Pretty Deadly. Nobody has picked Briggs and Jensen.
Well, there's 2 teams that is not going to win this. Pretty Deadly is not going to win, and Briggs and Jensen's not going to win. It's going to be Gallus and the Creed Brothers because they had a tag team match on NXT, but it didn't pan out good with
you're right.
these two teams, and we needed to decide who was going to be the winner. Fair. I was doing some thinking among myself on who I was going to pick in this match, who I have in this match, and I'm going to wrap my arms just like this because we are all men doing this predictions. We are all boys. So I'm taking a drink with water after I do my pick. I'm going for Gallus to win.
Gallus Boys on top.
On top. There we go.
This Sunday.
All right, good deal. I'm proud of you. As I listen to the Gallus theme on my phone. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite themes. The way that just comes in with the drums. It has a unified front. It has that feeling. All right, and you can really just go along with it. That's one of my favorite current themes in all of wrestling right now. The bottom line is this: don't bet against the firm, as Gallus Boys will claim a new kingdom. So that's our pick. We are unanimous. I'm very well surprised by that. All right, good stuff. All right, let's keep moving on down this as we. What the hell is this match doing here? All right, somebody explain this for me. Chris, you kick this one off because I'm not Simon Miller, but why? Motherfucker, why? Just why? What's why? Why am I seeing Casey Catanzaro and the I forget her former name. Damn it, WWE. Fine, I'll say the freaking name. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter taking on former Nikki Cross and Piper Niven, Nikki ASH and Doudrop for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. Motherfucker, why? Someone explain this to me. Chris, you're first. Why? What? Your pick.
Well, I'm going to tell you, when Katana Chance and Kaden Carter throwed out that challenge to anyone, it was unexpected that I saw Nikki ASH and Doudrop. NXT this past Tuesday was an unexpected show. There was not even reports. There was not even anything on what was going to happen on NXT this past week. I enjoyed NXT, but as far as
I love passion. I love seeing passion. Continue.
Involves with my pick, I think this Sunday, I think we'll see the old gimmicks of Nikki ASH and Doudrop drop their gimmick, and we've had the crazy Nikki Cross come back, and we have Piper Niven come back this Sunday.
All right, that'll be the biggest shot to happen this year in the wrestling industry, and I actually would approve it.
And I think with Triple H repackaging them, I think it's going to happen that Nikki Cross, Piper Niven is finally going to get their old gimmicks back, and we're going to be all grace with it. But with the winner, I do see Kaden Carter and Katana Chance retaining the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions.
I do love the fact that you did bring up their original identities in the WWE with Sanity's own Nikki Cross that literally fell asleep smiling in the coquina clutch of Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship one time at NXT TakeOver Chicago. And of course, the former Piper Niven challenging at NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2 for the NXT Women's Championship at Triple Threat with Toni Storm and Kaylee Ray. Screw new name. So I do like that. And that would pleasantly surprise me. But whether it's the Skittle Splash or the Black and Gold, I've always believed and respected in Casey Catanzaro. And legitimately, these two, they have great tag team chemistry. They actually can show it off. So I'm actually glad that they truly are the tag team representation of women tag team champions WWE. I said the for a reason. So with that being said, I do believe that they are going to retain too. And Jeff, 93% believe the champs are going to retain too. So again, Nikki ASH, does she almost get it done and still fall short, or do you see something that can make me say, what the fuck?
Well, first of all, I agree with Chris that I think you're going to see the old characters come back. As we know, names are going back to what they used to be. This could be the end of ASH and Doudrop, and we could absolutely see Nikki Cross and Piper Niven come back. And if they do, thank God. Thank you, Trips. You're awesome if you do it. I will, though, agree as well that the tag championship will stay in the grasp of Carter and Chance. I don't see their reign being less than a month, because they've only had it for less than a month now. I don't see them losing the titles right now. I think personally, other than Toxic Attraction, you might have one other team that I could see winning the title, but it's good. They're still working on things, and this is Ivy Nile, and I can't even remember the
Tatum Paxley.
Thank you, Tatum Paxley. Thank you very much.
No, this is his NXT to a degree. I respect that knowledge. Continue.
I could see them being the ones to take it off of them too. So it just, I like the Worlds Collide thing. You're having Raw come down. Later, we're going to talk about SmackDown coming down. I mean, it's something that, Worlds Collide isn't just NXT UK, as we've seen in the past. It's right. Raw and it's SmackDown, intertwining with this as well. Right. So I like seeing this, and that's why I'm hoping I'm hoping Survivor Series is going to have the 3 brands again. But anyway,
Best
we'll get
Survivor
that in
Series in the
November.
last damn decade.
You
But I
got it.
digress.
You got it. But yeah, as I said, I think Carter and Chance are going to keep the titles, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a fight. And if indeed the old characters come back, oh, they need to be on the lookout because these two are vicious as their old characters, and they're definitely going to have the hands full. That's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. I definitely agree with that. All right. I respect that notion and I respect that outlook, and that will definitely pop me if that actually happens. So I will suspend all disbelief for my Simon Miller thoughts. If that actually happens, then I will definitely believe this is going to be a great match, and this isn't just put on the show cuz. All right. Well, moving on from there, looking at my form. Okay. Well, this one has me intrigued to a degree, but I have to keep saying it. Since its inception, I have yet to truly see and believe in a true, long-standing, understandably believable NXT North American champion. If Carmelo Hayes overcomes this, I finally might have my pick. Because honestly, I'm looking forward to this. As I can't believe I'm actually seeing this. The current North American champion, Carmelo Hayes, defends the gold against Ricochet, a former North American champion himself. All right. Well, this is out of nowhere to a degree. I'm guessing this was another open challenge or just like being Moxley. But since we have seen Ricochet really show off lately on the SmackDown brand, being the crap out of Corbin, much to our pleasing. Thank you, Triple H, once again. Again, this is weird, though, out of nowhere. But honestly, this feels like a test for Carmelo Hayes. And again, when I say there have been great talent that I do see potential in on this, not my NXT. Carmelo Hayes is definitely in my top 5 with Ivy Nile. So respect me there, Chris. So with that being said, Chris, I'm going to start with you on this one, as the majority do believe the champ will retain. Of course, Carmelo Hayes, I believe, 2-time now North American champion. This thing's flip-flopped so many times during this Splash brand, I can't keep track of them. But a third believe that maybe Ricochet can get this back. Is Ricochet maybe the guy that the North American Championship needs? What's your thoughts towards this match?
Well, I'm going to tell you, this is actually the match I'm looking forward to on Sunday's Wars Collide event. I'm looking forward to this match. When Carmelo Hayes, we all thought Carmelo Hayes was going to get off on the card, and this is the thing. I thank God Carmelo Hayes is fighting Sunday. And against Ricochet. Ricochet has been getting a big push on Friday Night SmackDown, thanks to Triple H. Hopefully Ricochet becomes a world champion someday. I can't wait to see that happening. But this is going to be a fantastic match. Personally, if I was Dave Meltzer, I would give this a 5-star match right now.
Uncle Dave.
I would give it a 5-star match right now. Seeing it on paper is going to be good. Watching on TV, oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing. But overall, it's going to be a great match. Ricochet, he's here just to give us a Carmelo Hayes match that all of us wants to remember by. And personally, I remember all of Carmelo Hayes' title reign. So Ricochet, you don't have to make us believe how all of his title reigns so far. We keep track of that. So
to a degree,
I'm gonna say what Carmelo Hayes says: when he shoots, he don't miss. He's not gonna miss on Sunday whatsoever. Carmelo Hayes is gonna walk out of Wars Collide North American Championship.
All righty. Not much to say there. I think you pretty much summed it up. So, Jeff, unless you have any further to add, do you see the same thing happening? Or will Ricochet maybe intercept the shot, go down the other end of the court, and hit the slam dunk and get the win?
Well, first of all, we have seen main roster guys come down to NXT. We have seen main roster guys win titles after coming down from the main roster into NXT.
Yeah,
Hence,
we have.
Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Nobody expected him to win against Braun Breaker. And
No.
look what he did. Yeah, he only had a month run with it, but you can't knock people coming down from the main roster just to be involved in a pay-per-view and not count them as possible winners. In this case, Ricochet is probably, I would say, to this date, one of, if not the biggest threat to that North American Championship that Carmelo Hayes is having over his shoulder right now. Ricochet knows what it's like to be North American champion. He's been there. And he held it and had a hell of a run with that title. Personally, one of my favorite North American heavyweight champions ever, other than Gargano. He was another one.
Gargano's the one that took it off.
Gargano's, yeah, exactly. Gargano had a hell of a run. Adam Cole had a hell of a run with it. I mean, it's just, there have been so many, but Ricochet's, to me, is the most memorable out of all of them. And to see him win it for the second time, it's quite possible. You can't say no when it comes to this match. This is, I agree, going to be match of the night right here. This one match is going to steal the show. And also, stealing, Ricochet will steal that North American Championship from Carmelo Hayes. Hence, you'll see a brand new North American champion in Ricochet.
Damn, hot take. Didn't expect that. Whoa, I thought we were all going to say Carmelo retains. All right.
Nope.
Wow. Okay, then. Well, again, like I said, for this show to stand out and be something different indeed going forward to whatever this NXT comes to be, this might be the one match that truly needs to redefine who holds the championship, especially since all the other ones are unification at this point. So this might be the most believable match to see an older face claim the gold. I like that a lot. And plus, people think Carmelo Hayes should be part of Hit Row. Debatable. But I digress. Different conversation for another day. All right. Well, as the championships continue to be defended, and again, looking at this card, this could be a reminder of what used to be my takeovers. What do they call this now? NXT, XP? I don't even know what they call these now. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what this match could unfold. Because there's one thing I always say, a triple threat. You have a fall person and you have a buffer to protect the one that literally holds out with the gold. Well, this is a different scenario as two straps of gold are on the line, and one person here will claim both, as the NXT Women's Championships will be unified in a triple threat action, as the NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose of this NXT, the NXT UK Women's Champion, Michael Santamora, the final boss, both defend their straps against Blair Davenport in triple threat action, where it is winner take all. Okay, that was a curveball I didn't see coming. Because first off, if NXT UK was still on, I was expecting Blair Davenport and Michael Santamora to have the rightful one-on-one rematch after the unfortunate injury that Blair Davenport suffered. However, things changed. Since Michael Santamora has claimed the NXT UK Women's Championship from Kaylee Ray, she has had a tremendous, phenomenal run, taking on the likes of all comers. Isla Dawn, Ginny, just to name two of the most prolific rivals in her championship reign, including during the pandemic. Now, I will give credit where credit is due. You cannot deny work ethic and what you're given and how you take it forward, too. Mandy Rose has owned this identity of NXT. And arguably, she might be the biggest star, bigger than Braun Breaker on this brand to a degree. With the fact she has held this championship longer at this point than most of my champions in my NXT. And she has gotten better, more confident, and more comfortable. This is the closest three-way split I am practically seeing here. But it looks like a lot of people believe and respect the work rate, or at least I hope the work rate and not the other stuff, of Mandy Rose. I have 41% here for Mandy Rose, 29% for Michael Santamora, and the challenger with 29%. So it's almost split three ways to a degree. Slight advantage from the Galaxy for Mandy Rose. And again, in a blank white canvas NXT. Who rules it? You have one of the most definitive wrestlers in the world in Blair Davenport. Highly accoladed, one of the most driven, dangerous to a degree, top Ganjins from Queen's Quest, worked in Stardom, and yes, folks, Will Ospreay's relationship. And then you have Mandy Rose, where again she has owned it here in America on this NXT ever since coming away from the roster in that storyline with Sonya Deville, and they both have led their own way to a degree. I'm torn on this one, if I'm honest with you all, so I'm not going first. Jeff, I'm giving you this one first. Who do you got that becomes the unified NXT Women's Champion?
Well, let's put it this way. Blair Davenport, she did earn that #1 contendership before this was even thought of. She hasn't had the match yet, which gives her the right to be in this match. And Mandy Rose, she's held the title for nearly 300 days. Hell of a run. I've loved this run that she's done. Love the feuds that were along the way, and she has proven without a shadow of a doubt that she earned and still earns that NXT Women's Champion title. However, you have the final boss. You have the experience that out-experiences both Blair and Mandy put together.
Exactly.
Mako has been around since WCW when she debuted when she was 21. Okay, we're talking back in the mid to late 90s. Here she is, mid-40s, mid to upper 40s, and she still wrestles as though she's still in her 20s. I mean, she doesn't miss a beat. She is probably one of, if not the best pure wrestlers on this planet. And
Amen.
to see her losing a title to the likes of, I mean, nothing against Mandy Rose, but the likes of Mandy Rose or Blair Davenport, I don't see this happening. With a clean NXT slate coming, I see the final boss as the one leading the charge in the women's division. I mean, how can you if you put money against her? I'm sorry, it's Mako Satomura. You would lose. You would lose everything that you had. My money is on Mako, and I believe she will be the one leading the charge in the women's division into this new NXT that we're going to be getting in due time. So, Mako, I've praised you time and time again on any show I've been on. I love my NXT UK. Sad to see it go, but she is my woman right here. She is. I don't think she's going to let go of that title. She is going to continue being champion by dethroning Mandy Rose and getting rid of Blair Davenport in the meantime. Mako Satomura is going to be your undisputed NXT Women's Champion.
That was incredible, and I absolutely agree with you, and I'm doubling down on that. I couldn't say it any better than myself. Michael Satomura has everything possible and capable to surpass what Asuka did. And Asuka just simply had to relinquish the title with the aspects of seeing Asuka maybe challenging one day Michael Satomura. And by the way, at some point we were supposed to get Michael Satomura versus Saray, and that went up in the air too, and that still pisses me off. Michael Satomura redefines women's professional wrestling, damn it, in general.
Yes.
In this NXT, the blank white logo that I'm seeing now, which kind of intrigues me, is going to be a clean slate. You can't have a more prolific champion to try and overcome and who to face than Michael Satomura, especially if you put the focus back on wrestling, which is what NXT was founded on in the first place. Making it stand out from Raw and SmackDown, and why their asses got kicked at freaking Survivor Series 2019, the best Survivor Series of the last damn decade, and I stand by that. I'm with you 115%, Michael Satomura for the win. Although, I will say this, Millie McKenzie, all the best.
Yes.
I know several people were released with the NXT UK transitioning over and travel, blah, blah, blah. I was really looking forward one day to seeing that one affair. Not going to rule it out, but I do hope one day she comes back for that ultimate test. But Michael Satomura is the best in this match and the best women professional wrestler, damn it, of this entire weekend. Respect. I definitely have her coming out as my unified, undisputed NXT Women's Champion. Now, Chris is a young boy, And by the way, Young Boy is a term for those that don't know New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's a trainee that respects the art, the history, and is always learning. I'm sure we've educated him quite a bit here. But let's go ahead and find out what he thinks about Mandy Rose and the other participants in this match. And again, he saw TakeOver, but Michael Satomura was never involved at a TakeOver in NXT UK. Chris, you're on point. Good luck. Where do you stand?
Well, this is going to be a good match. We got Mandy Rose. We got Meiko Satomura. She is a legendary WWE superstar. She's incredible. This is actually going to be my first time seeing Meiko Satomura compete this Sunday.
Oh,
Nice.
you're gonna love it.
Because since I haven't watched NXT UK, I only watched the takeovers.
I understand.
Blair Davenport, I've seen. She's growing on me just a little bit, but I'm not going for her. It's either between Mandy Rose or Meiko Satomura. And we got NXT Europe coming in 2023.
Whatever the hell that means.
And who's going to be leading that charge? You guys said Meiko Satomura. I'm not agreeing with you guys. I'm going to go and I'm going to say Mandy Rose is going to win and be the unified, undisputed NXT Women's Champion.
All right.
Okay.
I respect your gumption, and I understand as far as your NXT goes, and here in America, she has been the face of that company, at least that part of it to a degree. I respect that. And again, with a triple threat, Blair Davenport, though, eating a pin to Mandy Rose, I don't know how pretty that would seem. But again, triple threat, anything's possible. Bottom line, one of these three women will leave the undisputed NXT Women's Champion. And again, it's hard to bet against anybody that knows professional wrestling. Damn it. But I digress to a degree, especially with me and Jeff's legacy on history. It's extremely hard to bet against Michael Satomura.
Yeah.
Because this isn't about sports entertainment.
Right. Right. I will say, though, right now, and you're going to hear it right now, come Hall of Fame, Meiko Satomura will be in the Hall of Fame this coming year. If she's not, I will be shocked. Well, I really would, especially with this title run that she's in her mid-40s. This 200, almost, well, actually 300 day.
And she's still
title
going,
run.
by the way. The thing, though, Jeff, she's still going. When I pick up Hall of Fame, that's like Michael Satomura is somebody, like you said, that looks like she could go for eons.
Oh God, yeah.
So again, maybe she'll introduce somebody. It gets, like a Japanese heritage type wing.
True.
I just wonder who you put in that part. But I definitely believe she is a future Hall of Famer. Way too soon. And as far as this match goes, Michael Satomura deserves to be the one to lead WWE Women's Wrestling into the next stratosphere too.
Yep.
All right. Well, that being said, again, folks, we'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and opinions. We thank you for tuning in, whether now or for the whole thing so far. And again, get those predictions in. Your opinions matter. The links in the description down below. And here, once again, is the Worlds Collide form. You'll see it in screenshot. Again, as the black and red faces the rainbow splattered, now to be defined on a new blank white canvas. You got till 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Sunday, September 4th, to get those predictions in, as this is part of the WWE League 2. So good luck. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen who may be watching, and gentlemen here on the panel, it is time now for our Worlds Collide main event, as we have Big Strong Boy versus, well, Big Strong Man, a Steiner. Holla if you hear me, but it's hard to bet against British strong style, especially when he wants to win over 40 minutes with the Ling General. But again, is Braun Breaker's time now, or was he thrusted too far too soon? You tell me. As this new NXT, whatever it may be, will be redefined with this at the helm. The undisputed NXT champion, as we have an NXT championship unification match between the NXT champion Braun Breaker, if you're part of Team No DQ, say yes to No DQ, and the newly crowned two-time NXT UK champion, Big Strong Boy, Tyler Bates. Okay, there's a lot of history to think about here. Braun Breaker is literally the guy, the NXT champion of this NXT ever since it was born. And of course, Tyler Bates, he was the guy that literally was the first NXT UK champion when NXT UK was defined. And then he and Pete Dunne raised it even higher than that, with the likes of Walter following after that, where again, the greatest match in NXT UK for me, up there with Ilya Dragunov versus Walter during the pandemic, but you can't surpass what freaking Tyler Bate and Walter demonstrated in professional wrestling NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff. And now we have Braun Breaker, a guy that he has all the mannerisms of a Steiner, but he has all the power and he has strong character. Mike skills, he's still a little bit green. But here it's going to be about strength and heart and who shows up more. And again, we know what Tyler Bates capable of and how far he can go. I have not seen Braun Breaker tested that far yet. This will be Braun Breaker's toughest test his entire career to date. Most people do believe that Braun Breaker, being the local boy, if nothing else here, will win 82%, while 17% believe in Tyler Bates. I said it on No DQ video live. I'll say it again here. My guy, my champion of NXT in general, period, has got to be Tyler Bates. He absolutely demonstrates and deserves it. He has shown incredible fortitude and heart. He has given countless classics with the likes of Jordan Devlin, Walter, Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate defined NXT UK, and he even has been over here to a degree too, defending this very championship. Tyler Bate has everything possible to lead something into the future, just like we said with Michael Satomura. Braun Breaker, he has a very bright future ahead of him too, but he doesn't need to be necessarily the champion. Not this soon. Yes, I saw his program with Joe Gacy, who wanted an inclusive world. And, of course, we saw what happened with him and Braun Breaker, and we saw the mutual respect between him and Ciampa. I respect Braun Breaker, but I don't think he's my guy to lead whatever Triple H is trying to be defined in NXT, especially if this NXT plays a heavy part in whatever the hell NXT Europe is going to be. So I got the big, strong boy coming out on top, whether it's Bop and Bang or the Tyler Driver. I got Tyler Bate winning and redefining the future of NXT. Chris, your thoughts on this match?
Well, this is going to be a good match between Braun Breaker, Tyler Bate. Whoever wins this is going to be the champion at the next time we're going to be doing predictions for an NXT Premium Live event, because there's some breaking news I got to tell you. On Saturday, October 22nd, there will be an NXT Premium Live event called NXT Halloween Havoc.
Oh, boy.
So that is going to be happening Saturday, October 22nd, exclusively on Peacock in the U.S. and WWE Network everywhere else.
Damn the rest of the world that still has the WWE Network, but I digress. Continue.
It's going to be a good match between Braun Breaker, Tyler Bate. With NXT UK just got done today, and now it's we're got to look forward to the future of NXT Europe. Who's going to lead the charge for the future of the NXT brand? With Braun Breaker, I could see him going to the main roster if he lose. And we could see some good matches with Braun Breaker. Tyler Bate, he's the underdog in this match. He has to find a way to overcome one of the biggest threats in the United States, and that is Braun Breaker.
Right.
It's gonna be a good match, but overall, my pick to win the NXT Championship Unification match is I'm going for Braun Breaker to be that guy. I think it's Braun Breaker's time, and he's going to lead the charge into NXT Europe.
All right. Well, Jeff, it's 1-1. Where do you stand? Who redefines NXT going forward as the NXT champion?
This match hurts. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I love Braun and I love Tyler Bate. And it's tough for me to pick one. But unfortunately, I have to. Because there is going to be one winner.
There can only be one.
There can only be one. I do see that Braun will be called up to the main roster. When? I don't know, but it is a given he will be, because I think honestly the feuds that he can have up there with, say, the likes of Gunther, or say him and Gargano, we could even see him and Ciampa one more time. I think
I was bringing him and Kevin Owens. I think would be very
him
interesting,
him
considering how true those loudmouths are.
exactly. There's just so many options up there for Breaker right now, and currently I don't see the options for Bate. However, that doesn't mean that he couldn't possibly be coming up. But with him just winning the NXT UK Championship, I don't see him being called up anytime soon. He is NXT.
No.
He was born and raised in NXT. That's where he's going to be. And it's just, when you think NXT, you think Tyler Bate. So honestly, it pains me to say this, because I said I love both. I don't see Braun coming out of there with the title. I really don't. I love the vignettes that were played over the course of NXT, with all the people that we saw coming down talking to the
I
champions
actually
and
did
stuff.
go back and look at those clips because that was a nice
Yeah,
trip down memory lane. So I'm aware of
it
Rhea
was.
Ripley, Finn Balor, Walter, and
Yep,
Shayna Baszler. I am aware of that, folks. Continue,
yep.
Jeff.
Yeah, and don't forget Champa talking to Breaker. So I mean, it's
That was
just
weird.
it was really cool to see former champions of those specific titles coming back, even for a brief moment. The best one though was Mako and Kaylee Ray. That was my favorite one. It was short, sweet, to the point, and it was great.
Yes.
Um, but you know, if they're gonna go into a new NXT, you need to have a new champion. So to me, Tyler Bate is the guy who's going to beat Braun Breaker and go forward into the new NXT as your NXT champion. And I've said it once, I'll say it again. It sucks that NXT UK has come to a close. It has been a hell of a 5 years. Every week, I have not missed a show, not one
Respect.
show.
Thank you.
And
Thank you,
and I
brother.
I
Thank you.
love UK. I love the idea. I've been watching it since the tournament, and every week it kept me on my seat. You had these amazing athletes, and it sucks that half of them, three-quarters of them are gone now. But you could see them come back for NXT Europe
That's what I'm
next
holding out
year.
for.
So,
I'm holding
I
out
mean,
for.
you could see Jack Stars, Dave Mastiff, come back. You could see Mark Andrews and Morgan Webster, which that hurt too,
Of course,
because
yeah.
I'm a huge Webster fan. But you could see all these people coming back for a brand new look for NXT Europe, and it would be cool to see them come back. However, Tyler Bate is not going to be one of them, because he will be the guy on NXT. So, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I got my man Bate going for this one, and I got him coming out on top. Much respect at the end of this match. I think you'll find all of the rosters at that point will be coming out at the end of the show. That is my prediction on that. It's got to. I mean, if you're ending one and combining them, pretty much, you've got to have everyone on the roster that is still signed coming out for this. Because especially when it comes to NXT UK, don't be surprised. We could even see an Ilya Dragunov make an appearance, which would be really cool to see.
Yes. Ilya Dragunov, of course, had to relinquish the SUK championship. Get well soon, Ungba. We also know Jordan Devlin now, I'm not saying the name, is underneath this NXT. So the fact that Tyler Bate wins, he and him could renew a classic. And maybe finally, Jordan Devlin reaches that next echelon and becomes the champion, the flagship, the true face of the brand. Jesus, I will say this. That match for Braun Breaker was ridiculous. I had to go look at that because, Jordan Devlin. You don't bet against the Irish ace. The bottom line is this. If this NXT is a new blank white canvas, I want to see a fresh start. And your start is stronger in relying on the NXT UK talent to bring the wrestling up and forward. That's why I feel like, again, you look at our picks. Gallus Boys on top. Michael Satomura, Tyler Bate. That's why we picked them to a degree. Nothing against the current roster of this NXT, but you're still very green and have a lot way to go. So that's where I stand with that. And I will also say this too. Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, huge investment in both of them. I hope that this really pays out in this program where Cora Jade now is being a heel and Roxy is being the face. Curious if this match comes ahead of Halloween Havoc. Hopefully it's not a stupid gimmick because anytime I hear Halloween Havoc now in NXT, I'm just like, and so help me God. Sorry, Jeff. Help me God. If Chucky shows up, I will rip that fucking doll's head off if I can through my screen.
Chucky, every movie, every show, Chucky dies, and then after the next episode comes, Chucky is alive. So how can you rip Chucky's head off if Chucky's going to keep coming back from the dead?
I can get him on my screen for one daggone night. That's all that matters. I'm going to shit what happens the other 364 days of the year. Not my NXT. But I digress. What can get me triggered like that? Anyway, hey, folks, we're down 2/3 now. Again, love to hear your thoughts, your opinion. What is your perspective of your NXT? Love to hear it down in the comments down below or in the chat. Again, get those predictions in. Your opinions matter too. Before we go into our final show, Lord help us, I do want to do a cheap plug on behalf of the Jeff Beecham Network. Stay tuned as the Jeff Beecham Network will keep you covered with all 3 shows. There'll be full special PM predictions of Clash of the Castle. And literally, that's happening right now. So if you want to go check that out on Jeff Beecham Network, go check it out now. I'm going to have to rewatch that probably. But again, guys, fill out my form. I got enough time as it is. But yes, I will be doing live commentary, play-by-play, and there will be reactions on the Jeff Beecham Network for Clash of the Castle. Saturday, September 3rd, beginning with a pre-show at noon Eastern Standard Time. Cheers to you guys across the pond. And there will be the season finale. Oh, the season finale of Open Mic Night. Saturday, September 3rd, 8 p.m. Disneyland time. I'm not sure how that Google's, but it's standard. I'll figure that out. And then Sunday, the double feature. And my greatest test as a commentator, as I will be calling back-to-back. And we will be nonstop live on the Jeff Beecham Network Sunday, September 4th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Calling in full Worlds Collide and AEW All Out. I'm going to need a lot of Mountain Dew and water after this and rest.
You got this. You got this.
Buddy.
Oh, Lord, help my voice. Mamma mia. And that being said, folks, stay tuned.
Hey,
all that
you just say Mamma Mia just like Mauro Ranallo would say.
That's right.
I swear, I unleashed an inner Mauro Ranallo when I was watching Camille successfully defend the NWA World Women's Championship twice on freaking Sunday and Saturday. What a phenomenal athlete and champion of the wrestling industry, but I digress. All right, enough talking about other things wrestling. Let's get back into why we're actually here because Tony Khan, you're a fucking madman. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, it is AEW, and they once again bring you a super card of the year. This one, much more emotionally driven, but the professional wrestling is sure to be once again a spectacle. We go back to Chicago where it all began. AEW All Out. Buckle up, folks. And this pay-per-view, of course, emanating on Bleacher Report and Fight TV International. Check your local pay-per-view subscribers. This pay-per-view will start with a 0 hour free on YouTube across all AEW social media platforms. And the actual preview starts 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday night. And I kid you not, you fought over enough of us long, Tony Khan just raised you by 1. So without further ado, let me just simply say this. As I always like to say, your opinions matter too. So get those predictions in because the forum is live now. The AEW All Out forum is live for my AEW Pay-Per-View Predictions League. You got till 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday night, September 4th. Good luck to you all. And again, it is the longest forum, so take a good drink and get them in. Shout out to the 12 of you that's got them in so far. Wow, that's impressive, actually. Shout out to the 12 of you that got them in so far, included but not limited to my friend that I met live in Cleveland. Hello, Kimmy. We also have, of course, Bacon Space once again. Mikey Starks, MJF Scarf. What the hell? Todd Radio, Jordan Johns, my brother Kyle Brava. We have Linda, Ronnie Holt, Jackie, and Atomic Cody, among others too. Good luck to all of you. Guys, let's just get right into the shindig. We will, of course, start off simply discussing the 0 hour. That is the free hour that gives you a preview of what is occurring in All Elite Wrestling. And again, it is this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live across all AEW social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And they gave us a fun little dose of sports entertainment. The cold-hearted, handsome devil Hook. A taste of Strong Style versus King's Road, and a mutual bout to unfold across a couple of Brits over a championship. So, let's get right into it. The first match we will discuss, and I feel our discussion should be shorter than the actual match. So, Chris, I know you like to entertain. I know you like to break down, but seriously, dude, you could probably break this match down in less than 10 words. The cold-hearted handsome devil Hook defends the FTW Championship against Cool Hand Angelo Parker. What else is there to say? Hook is undefeated in general, period, in AEW. And the sports entertainer Matt Menard, he's injured, asking if Hook wants a face of what we got. And I don't think it's going to take a freaking comb over for Cool Hand Angelo Parker to survive longer than a minute if he's lucky against Hook. That being said, Chris, if you say what I think you're going to say, I will walk out this freaking room. It's undisputed right now, 100% for Hook. Don't say anything else, but go ahead and take your pick.
Well, sorry if I had to rush off because Mother Nature was calling me.
Mountain Dew will do that.
Yeah, it will.
I'm going with Hook.
All right, good man. Jeff, say anything else you want. And also, Dan Howden, very nice, very evil. I don't see him coming out here and cursing anybody, but it could be a fun cameo. But what do you expect out of this besides a short, entertaining forum where Cool Hand's going to be put to sleep?
Let's see. Who do I want? Oh, Hook. Hook.
God.
And Hook. Pick Hook. Believe in Hook. Thank you, Hook. Simple as that. And that concludes our quickest prediction of the day. Good night, everybody. I'm kidding. All right. I had to say it. I mean, come on now. I had to say it. I mean, this is going to be just stupid funny. That's all I got to say about that. All right. What may not be necessarily funny or fun to a degree is the guy that wants us to embrace a change. He took the box off his head and he angered a bastard. Now he might pay for it. As the AEW All-Atlantic Championship is on the line as the bastard Pac for his fourth defense takes on, yes, folks, he's back, and that is definitely true what that box says. He is underrated. One of the very first signings in AEW involving the very first ever AEW match. Kip Sabian, super bad. All right. Well, this is interesting because I'm not necessarily sure what to expect besides Pop being super furious, considering it was Kip Sabian that cost Death Triangle out of the AEW Trios tournament. But right now, the establishment of this AEW All-Atlantic Championship being defended across the UK, in Italy, in Germany, in the UK, against Shooter, might I add. That was a great match. Kip Sabian just came back. He's out to prove a point, but I don't see him dethrone the bastard this soon in this title run. I have Pac retaining. Jeff, your thoughts towards this match?
Well, this is actually the first time I'm going to be witnessing him actually defending the title, because I was not able to watch the other defenses. So,
AEW Dark.
right. So I don't see Kip winning it. Obviously, that to me is, obvious. Yeah, he can have a box over his head. That's all fine and dandy. Cody Rhodes had a bag. What's your point? Anyway,
Are you saying that Kip Sabian's grotesque?
Who knows? I mean, if you look at his hairdo, it's doing this whole thing. So I mean, anything's possible, I guess. But yeah, I can't go against Pac on this one. I just can't do it. It's seeing as though Death Triangle is out of the trios tournament. This is not the time for Pac to lose his title. So Pac for the win, and I too need to visit answer to Mother Nature. So Pac for the win. I'll be right back.
All right. Simple enough. All right. Stay tuned. I am the guy with the iron bladder. No, I'm not doing that. Copyright infringement. That being said, Chris, NoDQ professional wrestling fans galore, NoDQ Galaxy and beyond. It's not just the NoDQ Galaxy that, of course, getting part of this, and I welcome everybody that enjoys these. Let's see what we got here. All right. So it's 3-1. 75% believe that Pac's going to retain, and it wins the primary of some people from the UK actually picked Kip Sabian. Maybe some people think Kip Sabian deserves a bone, a chance. Is it time for him to have his own little title reign? But this soon, I mean, again, the championship was just defined at Forbidden Door just a couple months ago. So, Chris, your thoughts towards this match?
I'm keeping it short and sweet. I'm going for Pac to retain his All Atlantic Championship.
Oh, fair enough. And again, as far as what happens after this, I mean, does Kip go after him again? Does Pot just leave him in the reins of Sarah and try to break his neck? Does Pot try to put him back on the injury reserve list? Does somebody else come in on Pac's or Kip Sabian's behalf? More so Kip Sabian's behalf, because he has nobody in his corner. Nassis Miro broke his hand when he was his best man. And I don't see necessarily Penelope Ford, who's not even on this card, surprisingly, might be on Elevation or Dark. I don't see Penelope Ford necessarily getting involved in this too. Although I do remember when it was Kip Sabian versus Kenny Omega and Penelope Ford was in the corner. That was one of the most underrated matches. Underrated matches of AEW Dark's history too. But I digress. Either way, we're all agreeing with Pac for the win. Alrighty. Well, again, as we look at the 0 hour here, this is the number one match that matters the most because if anyone knows me as a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling, damn it! But I digress. This is the only match I need to be invested in to be saying, okay, 0 hour, you have my freaking attention. Round 2, for those that don't know, I am a huge freaking fan of, you guessed it, NJPW. It doesn't come more strong style than this. As the Stone Pit Bull, Tomohiro Ishii challenges the man that eats, sleeps, and breathes the style of King's Road, another discipline in Japanese wrestling culture. I'm, of course, talking about Eddie Kingston versus Tomohiro Ishii, round 2. Let's fucking go. I just want to see these two bludgeon and beat the daylights out of each other. All right, for those that don't know, Eddie Kingston and Tomohiro Ishii already have a one-on-one match on NJPWWorld.com at Capital Collision. And it was Tomohiro Ishii that got the win, dropping Eddie Kingston with a vertical drop brainbuster. Tomohiro Ishii will fight anybody on the planet. One of the MVPs of New Japan Pro Wrestling and one of the strongest, meanest fighters and hitters that will fight till he's dead, it seems, to a degree, against anybody. He's been in the ring this year across the G1. He's been in Impact Wrestling with the world champion, Josh Alexander. This is the guy to watch if you want to see truly what it means to test your spirit, your merit, and your body as a professional wrestler. Eddie Kingston, he's a guy that eats, sleeps, and breathes professional wrestling. Respects the Great Four, the Kings, you know what I'm talking about. King's Road. He respects the style. He's been involved in NJPW strong. He has huge humility and discipline for the art of Japanese strong style. But again, King's Road and strong style, they're two different forms. Hello, Nokiism. That being said, I look at it like this. It's Eddie Kingston versus Tomohiro Ishii. Eddie Kingston's looking for that win back in this fight. Tomohiro Ishii, I don't know what his future holds in store to a degree. But this right here could rival what Bryan Danielson and Minoru Suzuki did on the buy-in of AEW Rampage Live on YouTube. So, with that being said, it's hard to bet against Tomohiro Ishii, but he has had a rough time lately in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I figured that Kingston might surprise us, but it is the buy-in. So, figured that Tomohiro Ishii was not involved in the four-way due to injury for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship, and he was my pick to win. Time for Ishii to get his first win in AEW. I got the Stone Pit Bull winning this freaking thing. Chris, your thoughts on this fight, if nothing else?
I'm keeping this short and sweet again.
That's the way to do it.
My pick to win this is Eddie Kingston, and I hope Eddie Kingston wins. He deserves it. And maybe down the road, Eddie Kingston can finally be champion in AEW.
Well, take, but I do understand that he does have his own fan base because, again, Eddie Kingston is respected when it comes to his discipline, his heart, his fight in professional wrestling. And definitely that mental health article, boy, was that deep. But I digress. Jeff, again, I feel like he does need the win. I don't think it's a one-off. I feel he deserves something, especially after the G1. Ouch. But a majority is with Chris. They do believe that Eddie Kingston will get the win. 83.3%. 16% believe in my boy, the Stone Pit Bull Tomohiro Ishii. Where do you stand in this fight? Round 2, to say the least.
Oh, well, the first one was brutal. Yeah, that's an understatement.
It is. Really.
You know, you got two good guys already with wins that we've predicted on the 0 hour here. I don't see it going 3-0. I see Ishii coming up over Eddie Kingston on this one. He, as you said, he needs the win. It's just, and I don't think honestly a loss uh, to Ishii for Kingston. I don't think that's going to set him back. I don't think it's going to hurt his career. I don't think that
I
it's
don't
going to.
either.
It's not going to damage anything. In fact, I think if anything, it's going to light more of a fire under him. I've got Ishii winning this one. And by the way, I'm just throwing it out there. These Java chip Oreos are freaking amazing. So that's what I'm stuffing my face full of.
We are the Oreo crew.
Oh, there we go.
By the way, I'm gonna just say this real quick. An Oreo aficionado, a great person to be a friend with, one of my favorites in the industry. The bunny, yay, Allie. Get well soon. Shut up, Jeff. And continue enjoying your Oreos. I know what you were going for there. And thankfully, none of my ACW crew is here. Otherwise, I'd be telling them off. And also, happy prelated birthday. I know you're going to celebrate your birthday on Saturday. I hope you have an enjoyable, spooky one, to say the least. Can't wait to see you get back pro wrestling. All the best. Your continued recovery. And that goes also for anybody who's injured, because this summer, as we finally leave summer, let me just put a tangent out there. To anybody in the professional wrestling industry that gives their body for our entertainment or for the sport of pro wrestling and has paid the price, whether it was accidental or just, a misstep, I wish you all the best in your recovery. From Rev Velvet to Legit Later Hirsch to Chris Statlander, off the top of my head, especially for the AEW women's division to a degree, to Bobby Fish, who's injury prone and his future is up in the air, to Adam Cole, baby, and Kyle O'Reilly. Anybody who's out there injured in the wrestling industry, take care of yourselves and please get back to what you love doing in a right fitting time too. And Cody especially, because Cody, you're a freaking madman. But I digress. Support professional wrestling and just enjoy wrestling, folks. It's as simple as that. All right. Well, now that I talked about that, what a nice little prelude as I didn't give you an FBI warning. Because guess what? That was all that was booked for the 0 hour. Let's get now into the actual pay-per-view. Like I said, we got championship matches galore, grudges to be settled, or maybe to tie the score, and a future challenger, and a Joker, and so much more too. This card is stacked. And we also are crowning brand new AEW Trios champions too, which I assume is going to be who I think should be in the finals, but based on storytelling, it could be round 2. And that's the only match we truly don't know about. And again, folks, if you already filled out your picks, I will inform you when the finals are determined, and you can change your pick to a degree. But seriously, why would you change? Let's go ahead and get right into the pay-per-view. Chris, you start this one off. We know that Team Taz was very prolific on a definition of attitude. We've seen countless times Absolute Ricker Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs go after the AEW Tag Team Championships too, and they failed. We've seen, though, how both men have grown in their confidence, in their capabilities on the mic, and what they showcase in the ring. But there comes a time in every tag team where I feel like you are there, but you always feel like you are in somebody else's spotlight, and you take it for your own when you feel the time is right. Boy, the Powerhouse Hobbs did that after freaking Ricky Starks lost the WWE Championship to Hook, but says that I'm still going to bring forward the fight. I still deserve this time. I still deserve to give you more than 30 seconds on the mic. Well, you got a clubbing shot to the back of your neck for that, and now you face this man, former friend. As, whoops, botch. You can tell how tired I am, as I am not Dr. Seuss. I'm basically talking about, folks, Powerhouse Hobbs trying to sell the grudge. There's the graphic. Against Absolute Ricky Starks. You are looking at two of the brightest stars coming up in AEW, and one of these two right now needs to leave the other one in the past for good. So we've seen recently how Ricky Starks was taken up by the Factory. He'll be taking on QT Marshall live this Friday on AEW Rampage, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powerhouse Hobbs, he's been pretty much demonstrating his own demonstration of dominance, breaking people in half with an absolute charismatic statement and a ridiculous spine buster. So, Chris, who you got winning this grudge match here? Powerhouse Hobbs or Ricky Starks?
Well, it's going to be a good match. These two are the bright future of AEW. And AEW's got to build around these two superstars because
among others, but yes,
these two are the new upcomers. Powerhouse Hobbs turned on Ricky Starks I'm gonna say that this Sunday at All Out, I'm going for Ricky Starks to beat Powerhouse Hobbs.
I've been saying it for the longest time. This guy is not young rot. This guy stands out on his own. Otherwise, he would have been in the show. This guy stands out on his own and delivers on both charisma and wrestling every time he shows. I definitely agree with you and Ricky Starks. 75% believe in Ricky Starks as well. 25% though think that Powerhouse Hobbs will send him planted to the mat with the last will testament or break his back. He's already tried to take out his neck. And we all know the history of neck injuries for Ricky Starks. At one point, he was really doing nothing but commentary just to find the confidence in himself, thinking that he could still go, but still was unsure. Jeff, your thoughts towards this?
Well, this is a rivalry that I honestly I saw it coming. I
Team
was not
Taz,
there.
just saying.
Yeah, it just I knew Team Taz was going to come to an end, and I had a feeling it had to do with that FTW championship. However, this took it to the like the next level of it. So it's rough to see these two go against each other because we've from the get go we've seen them standing side by side. But I have to say I will agree. I think this is Ricky's night. I think this is where he overcomes all the crap, if you will, that Powerhouse Hobbs has shoved in his direction. This is his time to shine. And I think this is where his career really gets to take off. And Hobbs will be looking in the rearview mirror at Starks, being like, "Hi, guess what? I'm going to be your next champion," because I think he's going to get a shot before Hobbs does, and in order to do that, he's got to beat Hobbs to do that. So, my choice is Ricky Starks for the win.
I feel like Powerhouse Hobbs in defeat would take that anger on somebody, maybe go after Wardlow for the TNT Championship.
Probably.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Just saying. Either way, both these men have incredible potential, but right now, Ricky Starks, it is his time, damn it. He's set his times now, and I truly believe that. I just wish it wasn't a John Cena quote, but I digress. All right. Sorry, Chris. That being said, let's continue down the line here, as again, we still have a lot to look at. Will the Redeemer resolution finally be resolved as he looks to take down the pagans? Or will the members of the House of Black rise and prove once again that the house always wins? As the House of Black are in trios action on the main card once again, this time taking on a very unique trio of allies in Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro. All right, well, let's go ahead and break this down. Miro, of course, got misted back at Forbidden Door by Malachi Black and has then decided to use this gift of temporary blindness to a degree against them and has literally made their lives kind of miserable, getting his own revenge, costing them out of the AEW Trios tournament against the Dark Order that I saw live. I couldn't freaking believe it. And then we've seen how Darby Allin and Brody King, and again, it wasn't for Darby Allin, Brody King probably wouldn't even been in AEW. We saw how that panned out with a coffin match as Brody King looks to take what Darby Allin has established for himself. And then, of course, you have Mr. Secret himself, no longer a secret. Buddy Matthews, explosive offense, who just brings so much to this dynamic trio to a degree. And, of course, you have Sting, who was blinded by Malachi Black, and we were wondering if these two are going to have a singles match. I still would not rule that out. And, honestly, he might be the biggest X factor here, considering the only thing that's for sure about Sting is never mind. Either way, you get my point. This is a very interesting feud. But for me, I believe the House of Black, even though the phrase says always wins, they may not. I believe they need to win. Huge win back at Double or Nothing where Julia Hart became Heartless and the Dark Empress to the House of Black. And honestly, she might play a factor too. Although I do wonder back what Miro said when Julia asked him to embrace the gift. You are not my guardian angel. Only one woman can touch me too, my God. As he talks about his God, he talks about, well, his angel. Hey, everybody remember a certain ravishing individual? Does she show up and does she play a difference maker here too? Either way, I believe the House of Black does need to win this, but I do believe an angle will continue that will lead to Malachi Black versus Miro one-on-one. But the House should win, and I hope they do. They're my pick. Jeff, your thoughts on this?
Now, Malachi is still considered injured, isn't he?
I'm not sure, considering I haven't heard anything regarding any change in this match. And again, trios match, if that's the case, that might protect him.
Right.
That might be why they might have changed course.
Right, because I mean, if he's not 100%, I don't see House of Black winning this. If he's
Right.
not 100%, that's
He
why I
would,
was asking if you had heard something maybe that I didn't. But
nope.
last time I knew,
As far as
Black
what I
was
saw
still
last week, he was definitely competing at 100% when he freaking
okay.
kicked out Reynolds' lights out.
Okay. Well, we also thought that at the time we thought that Punk was 100%, but look what
I
happened there.
saw that live in 3
Yeah,
minutes. Don't I
yeah,
know? We'll talk about that. Trust me, we'll talk about that. But continue.
yeah. This isn't an Eric Bischoff and 3 minute warning kind of thing. But yeah, you know, with the fact that you have Miro, and this is going to be really interesting to see how Miro and Darby react, because this is the first time that we've seen the two of them together since Miro took the title off of Darby. So this is a different angle at this, where they're
Right.
actually teammates. How well are they going to get along? That's the key thing. Now, I do agree that Lana or CJ Perry, whatever they decide to go with for her name, I do see her in this if Anna J, not Anna J, if
Watch.
sorry, so yes, I know, I'm tired.
I know
If
we're all tired.
Julia Hart, if Julia Hart happens to be at ringside, you can guarantee to see CJ there in the corner of Miro, Sting, and Darby Allin. I think that's the only that would be the factor of this match personally, is those two.
Mhm.
I got until I know for certain if Black is 100%, I've got to go Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro. If he's not, that's who I go with. If he is, and he's completely fine, then obviously House of Black. So I mean, it all depends on what his status is and if he is indeed 100%.
That's fair. And again, you do bring up the history of Darby Allin and Miro. Again, have they resolved that past transgression? As Miro was the one to take the title off Darby Allin, who is definitely only focused on getting that back, nothing higher than that. But like I said, I feel the House of Black, they kind of need something going for them. Yes, they won a double or nothing and gained a Julia Hart for their troubles, a Dark Heart, but they
Right.
lost out of the Trios tournament. They lost out on the All Atlantic Championship. And I'm not sure where the Malachi Black narrative goes if Malachi Black is injured. So an angle would save this, I feel, for later, but I just feel the House of Black does need something. But again, Chris, how do you bet against Sting, who, if I remember correctly, he's undefeated at pay-per-views too? I might just have shot myself in the foot or kicked myself in the jaw. But I still got time to change. But Chris, your quick thoughts on this match. Do you feel the House always wins, or do you feel Miro will be redeemed?
Who is the majority picking in this match?
It's actually pretty close, believe it or not. 58% believe Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro. 41% believe in House of Black. So a little more in favor of the faces.
This is a tough one to pick.
It kind of is.
Because I don't know what direction that they're gonna head into after this. Probably Miro versus Malachi Black, obviously. Maybe that could be the next feud going into Full Gear in November.
Or Arthur Ashe Stadium. Let's just put it out there.
Yeah.
Or Arthur Ashe Stadium, whatever the two that they want to do at. I think as of now, I'm going for Miro, Darby Allin, and Sting to pull off the win on Sunday.
Okay. And again, it's one of those things where you're like, you don't know necessarily the next part of this. And where Malachi Black has kind of controlled this and how the House of Black has been somewhat together and what they believe and demonstrate in to bring us the fans. I wonder again, does he already know what's ahead? In the narrative, the House always wins. It's not necessarily by pinfall decision. It's basically how things unfold. You wonder if Malachi Black or Julia Hart, for that matter, is aware of what Miro said, that there could be a guardian angel that could come into play here. I don't know. I'm curious. Okay, now, look. No disrespect, but let's be honest. She's not dethroning that bitch. Jade Cargill defends the TBS championship against Athena. And I will say this one more time. Chris Statlander, get well soon. Damn it! But I digress. All right, we know how personal this is. After Athena's property was destroyed, literally Jade Cargill brought out a sledgehammer. How's that a freaking sign for things? And of course, Jade Cargill, she's been trained by Brian Danielson, continuing to show off her strength, continuing to show off more in-ring accuratism. I will give her that. And she has everything going for her when it comes to presentation and absolute domination. I don't see Jade losing this title. I'm keeping it short, sweet, and simple. We all know how this was supposed to go down, but again, the summer of injuries cost us. I got Jade retaining, and it will still be that bitch show. But who knows? Athena should bring one of her strongest fights to date to Jade, considering Jade, well, honestly, has not had that long of a match since her match against freaking Daikandi. On a Jade, you did okay, but now you're a sports entertainer, so that's irrelevant. Jade retains. Chris, make it quick and simple. Your thoughts on this match?
Jade Cargill for the win.
All right. And now we go to, what the hell? You guys are voting majority for Athena? What? All right. You're brave. You're brave. 41% for Jade, 58% for Athena. Again, I look at this match, short-term grudge type storyline setup, audible called. I just don't see Jade losing. Jeff, further thoughts?
No, I don't see her losing either. Although I will say Athena will be her toughest fight to date. And it's not going to be a short. It's not going to be a short match. I think it will probably.
No, I definitely don't think so.
It's not definitely not going to be a blowout. So Athena will give it her best shot. She'll probably try to go for the Eclipse.
Called.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least I didn't call her by her other name.
Hey, don't go there.
But I think she'll go for that move and she'll miss, and that's when Jade Cargill will pick up the victory. But don't be surprised if Athena controls a really good chunk of this match. I think that's what's going to make this match really worthwhile in watching. Is I think Athena is going to have the upper hand in most of this match. I mean, you don't have to have Jade Cargill in control from bell to bell.
Exactly.
Like it has been pretty much. You can definitely have Athena control a good chunk, 60, 70% of the match, and still have Cargill come out on top. So I've got Cargill keeping it, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, and again, when it comes to a champion, what tests a champion besides themselves is their challenger. You have this cloak of invincibility, but the challenger is supposed to push you to your limits. And more recently, Jade has learned what that means to either show or to be tested. Whether you talk about Marina Shafir, whether you're talking about freaking Taekwondo from Revolution, or whether you're talking about Anna Jay. I also wonder if the baddies will come into play. She has her, discrepancies with Layla Gray. Will Kiera Hogan be out there? Will Stokely be out there? That played difference maker, particularly at Double or Nothing. So, again, there are several things that come into play telling the story here in this grudge. But I definitely see Athena unleashing, a Hellcat inside her as the Fallen Goddess looks to rise as champion. I just don't see that happening. And so far, every match Jade Cargill has won has been by Jaded. So I'm curious if she pulls out something different and if Athena forces that. We'll see. All right. If there's one thing I enjoy in wrestling is being worked to a degree that you blur the lines between kayfabe and reality. When it comes to this match, this feels pretty that personal to say the least. Wouldn't you agree, Jeff, when we're talking about one not wrestling as Jungle Boy, but as the son of the late, great, God rest his soul, Jack Perry? Christian Cage, Instant Classic 2.0, will be taking on Luke Perry in one-on-one action. Boy. Jeff, take it away. You're first on this one. Break it down. Your pick on this match.
Well, I had mentioned this before actually I mentioned it on Roundtable, that, I'm okay with a storyline going personal. However, and I said this not only for this match, but for when it came to Brian Pillman Jr. Never, ever bring a dead family member into a conversation or a skit. I cannot stand it. It hurts because, Brian Pillman was one of my favorites. I loved Luke Perry as an actor, and it's just, you don't bring deceased family members into a storyline. To me, I understand they're trying to get they're trying to get ratings, they're trying to get viewers on this, they're trying to get more hype, but there's other ways to do it.
Exactly.
And this match, the match itself does not bother me. It's the way they went into it that just sickens me. But with that being said, this match, I am looking forward to it. I think that with said conversations and skits that have been going on between the two of them, it does. I think in the long run, it will favor Jungle Boy, especially excuse me, especially if you get Luchasaurus down there, because him and Cage are not through. That's still there. So I see Jungle Boy taking the victory on this one and making his father proud.
Well, again, all that a son wants to do is make their family proud, but
Yeah.
I feel there is a certain degree of connection with a son and their father that can sometimes surpass the other way around.
Yeah.
And we know that Jungle Boy wears his heart on his sleeve. Now he wears that leather jacket and calls Christian Cage a pussy. He even had a shirt about it,
Right.
which was brilliant. But ever since Christian Cage, basically 1 year later, divulged his plan to a degree about making money and exploiting that for everything it seems out of Jurassic Express as soon as they lost the straps, and then concerting him in front of his mother and sister. We've seen now Jungle Boy unleash a newfound fury inside him to a degree, savage nature, to injure this man. And now they go one-on-one. Whether Christian Cage is 100%, I don't know. But you bring up Luchasaurus, who we thought being, turned by Christian Cage. And that especially just leads still up in the air, too. When you think about worked everyone, are we still being worked by Christian Cage, too? Yes, Luchasaurus is suspended, but how long was that for? Can he come into play here? And will he play on behalf of Jungle Boy or Christian Cage? Is there still more in store? Are they truly niched together as friends? Or are both of these men turning on each other? Is that a whole different plan? There's several ways I can see this. I'm very curious. But
Yeah.
I think based on the emotional nature of this story and how far it's gotten, Jungle Boy does need the win more here to a degree, and it moves him forward. Again, I look at this pay-per-view pushing a lot of the younger original talent in AEW. And this is another example. I got Jungle Boy winning, Luke Perry winning to a degree. Or Jeff Perry. I'm getting the Perrys confused.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But you know what I mean. Jungle Boy.
Yep.
Chris, your thoughts towards this match?
Well, this is going to be a good match. You brought up about the father. Became personal between Christian Cage and Jungle Boy. I feel bad for Jungle Boy right now. And personally,
we've been drawn in. Thanks, Christian, you dick.
Yeah, we've been drawn in. And personally, I think he does deserve the win. Jungle Boy, he deserves it. So I'm going with Jungle Boy, and it's time for him to. I think it's time that you start putting singles championships on Jungle Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, one of the original four pillars. He's had classic matches with the likes of MJF. He survived 10 minutes with Chris Jericho. He's definitely had great times against Cody Rhodes when he was originally the TNT champion. That was definitely a breakout for him, too. And as mostly a tag team specialist, this could be a real breaking point for Jungle Boy and his future going forward, too, in AEW. A majority do believe that Jungle Boy's going to win as well, 76%, while 20% believe in Christian Cage. We'll see who gets worked and who gets snared. All right. As we move on from there, let's go into some trios action with a lot of gold. Too bad none of it's on the line. Okay. Just going to say this real quick. Forgive me if I'm going on a tangent. Forgive me. Why the fuck is your TNT championship not being defended on the pay-per-view? As Wardlow, the TNT champion, and FTR are together in trios action taking on Jay Lethal and holy shit. Impact Wrestling. Hello, Impact Wrestling. How you been? Oh, by the way, shout out to Impact Wrestling. As always, they own the night. Great episode now on Thursday. I was watching it quietly, but I'm not going to spoil it. Please go check out Datia's recap and review on the Daily Slam. Thank you. The Motor City Machine Guns. All right, pretty short, sweet, simple, straightforward. We know that Jay Leva versus Wardlow is something to come one-on-one. Why it's not on the pay-per-view, I don't know. Why don't you have FTR challenge themselves as the top guys in all tag team wrestling against the most influential team in all of Impact Wrestling history, and that is the Motor City Machine Guns. Could have been two separate matches. Considering all the other stuff you booked on this card, these should have been the two matches you booked before a lot of other stuff, but I digress. Either way, first time ever Motor City Machine Guns are coming to AEW turf. This could lead to something bigger. It might lead to FTR finally going over to the Impact Zone, where they definitely have an open door policy. It's hard to bet against FTR and Wardlow, though, when you look at the accolades and the decorated championships they are, and the fact that, again, Jay Lethal, Motor City Machine Guns. So, do you go with the debut surprise factor? Maybe Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt also in the corner. Or do you go with Wardlow and FTR once again demonstrating they are the pinnacle of AEW? It's hard to bet against the Motor City Machine Guns in their freaking debut. And Jay Lethal still has that TNT title shot too. I got the heels going over. Chris, your thoughts in this match?
I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I got Wardlow and FTR winning this.
Damn. All right. So much for my idea. And I am in the minority. The majority do believe that FTR and Wardlow are going to win this. I mean, yes, they have been absolutely dominant, but again, Jeff, absolutely dominant. Just saying. Your thoughts to this match is 7.7% believe in Jay Lee from the Motor City Machine Guns.
Well, first of all, I like the whole pinnacle shout out there. That was good. I have FTR and Wardlow. I really don't see them losing this. And this is just going to enhance the feud with Lethal and Wardlow. Because honestly, I would love to see this again. I would actually like to see FTR versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Yeah, so it not only enhances one feud, but it's now enhancing two. And I like the sounds of this. And I think in order to do that, the champions have to go over. They have to win this, because if the champions win, the challengers are going to bitch and moan and complain and this, that, and the other thing, and that's going to get the champions' attention. It always has. It always will. So this is not going to be over once the match, the final bell has rung. I've got FTR and Wardlow taking this one, and future awesome matches down the road with all six of these competitors.
I guess that makes sense. I think they are the top guys. But again, we already know that Wardlow's going to defend the title again against Jay Lethal. Give Jay Lethal a bit of momentum. He already got a singles victory over a great wrestling match against Dax Harwood. And we don't know how Motor City Machine Guns will clash with FTR. So suspension of disbelief. And if the Motor City Guns do win, pin one half of the Trple, Ring of Honor, and IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, that says a lot. That's why I went with them. So again, I could be wrong, but also I got freaking Rampage live tomorrow night, so maybe I'll be right. We'll see. All right. As we move on from there, listen, I am not freestyling this late at night. You can forget that shit. Forget that. But if you thought you're going to get a freaking mixtape from me, you are your damn mind to a degree. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. As Swerve in Our Glory, the limitless one, Keith Lee with Shane Strickland, defend the gold against everybody loves them, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, the Acclaimed. And this stems off mutual respect based on the fact they are in the rankings and the fact you had every other tag team in the trios tournament, but I digress. And also Swerve in Our Glory coming off a tag team victory for the championships being such defended, mutually on respect against Private Party. Since the As Boys got recruited by Stokely, I mean, who else do you have at this point? And the Acclaim have become favorite baby faces. Now, I'm just wondering, in Chicago, what are you going to attack? Are you going to attack healthcare? Well, actually, no, you're baby faces now, so this is going to actually feel weird. Either way, everybody may love the Acclaim, but you can cut the shit out. I don't see the Acclaim winning the tag team championships. I got Swerve in Our Glory retaining. Chris, your thoughts towards this match, as 61% believe in the champs, while 38% believe in the Acclaim. Where do you stand?
This is going to be a good match. I really enjoy how Max Caster is rapping and making jokes
Freestyling.
about what real life stuff is happening.
Biden approval ratings. Damn.
But I don't see the
It broke
I
Jeff.
I don't see the Acclaim winning.
Sorry.
I see Swerve and our Glory retain the AEW tag team titles, and I think the next challengers for those championships are going to be FTR.
I feel it's a matter of time before FTR literally regains the gold and we get an 8-star FTR. Jesus. That being said, Jeff, listen. Acclaim are the ones that are now on the chase. Do you see Swerve and Our Glory giving them some space?
The Acclaimed, I think, and I've said this for a while, that they need gold. They deserve gold around their waist. They are one of the hottest tag teams in AEW. And to not have gold around their waist, it's a travesty. Okay, now I've said this before when they were heels. I'm saying it again with them being baby faces.
That goes to their merit.
Swerve and their glory, if they lose the titles, it's not going to kill the team. It's not like they're not going to regain the titles, because I'm almost certain that they would. However, the Acclaimed has been there since practically day one. And I think personally, they deserve to have belts around their waists. And with Daddy Ass right there with them.
Why you gotta make it weird?
Cigarette Daddy Ass. Anyway, I've got the Acclaimed on this. I think that I think that they deserve the titles around it. They have been fighting. I mean, I understand at the start of things they were losing. Honestly, they're one of the hottest teams right now. You can't deny that. And I think that even though you have Lee and Swerve, who are pretty much just thrown together as a team, and it worked. Don't get me wrong, this is working.
It is.
But you have a team that was together from day one. So you've got a little bit of that to consider too. And the Acclaimed I think they deserve those belts. They are an amazing team, and the belts will just add to it. And I think this is what the Acclaim needs, is those titles around their waist. So I might be with the minority, but don't be surprised if you've got new AEW World Tag Team Champions in the Acclaimed when it's all said and done with.
Let's say this. You make a convincing case, and we'll see at the end who survives in the chase. So I like that. I respect that. All right. And no, folks, I don't scissor. And I hope you don't too. This just got weird. Let's move on. Damn it, Jeff. All right. You bloody fool. Okay. Well, as far as talking about champions, we are once again in a very unfortunate circumstance as I talk about the summer of injuries. Thunder Rosa, La Mera Mera, Thunder Army for life. Please get well soon. I wish you all the best in the recovery too, but we have to freaking redefine the women's division once again and need somebody at the top to move it forward too. Time to see if any of these four can finally pull it off, as we have a fatal four-way match for the AEW Interim Women's World Championship as Toni Storm faces Breaker DMD and Jamie Hayter, I'm a hater, and Hikaru Shida. You have two former AEW Women's World Champions and two people that formerly challenged for it. Toni Storm, of course, challenging Thunder Rosa at the Forbidden Door, one of her best bouts to date. Breaker DMD, of course, was a former AEW Women's World Champion before losing to Thunder Rosa back at St. Patrick's Slam earlier this year. And, of course, Jamie Hayter just challenged Thunder Rosa at Battle of the Belts, one of the strongest competitors in the entire AEW roster. And then you have Hikaru Shida, who is also a former AEW Women's World Champion during the pandemic, who lost it to Dr. Baker, DMD, and has one of my matches at least with Jamie Hayter, not with Toni Storm. as we saw this Wednesday night on the Dynamite Go Home show, it was Tony Storm and Hikaru Shida that got the win in tag team action as Hikaru Shida pinned Donna DMD, giving her a stiff kick to the jaw. Yeah, I wonder what that was for. That being said, Jamie Hayter, she brought it, but she also took it. I'm torn for a couple of reasons. One, originally the plan was Tony Storm versus Thunder Rosa. When I was thinking that they were going to go round 2, I was thinking this was the moment that Tony Storm was going to go heel. Maybe not rock hard like her husband, but heel to a degree and finally claim the prize. Yes, I went there.
I know.
Sorry, not sorry.
You're good.
That being said, that Breaker DMD, she has once again proved and talked and joked why she is the face of AEW and the women's division, etc. I have been holding out for the longest time for Jamie Hayter to just drop her with a lariat and go on her own as one of my favorites on this roster to be champion. Surprised she's not in the Stardom tour for the IWGP Women's World Championship, just saying. And then you have Hikaru Shida, who had her time, but currently she is a champion for a Joshi Pro promotion. She is the Dear Wave champion that I just saw Sister defended on Elevation live last week against Emi Sakura. For me, it comes down to what's ahead for particularly Tiebreaker DMD and Jamie Hayter. If they work together, that finally breathes seeds of dissent, and I might finally get the one that I want. I'm just going to say this right now. Jamie Hayter, Blackpool Combat Club. Just saying. Toni Storm, though, for the longest time, she came to AEW because it renewed her passion for professional wrestling. Damn it, but I digress. And I feel she deserves the moment and the chance, but under these circumstances, can I accept that? Considering her and Brett faced off in the Owen as well, I know there's bad blood in that. It'd be interesting to see Toni Storm actually pin Tiebreaker DMD. Because she had already been a champion, she can afford to be outside of the decision. I think it's going to more come down to the two that haven't won the championship, and I want to see as champion. But looking at the graph, looking at the landscape, thinking about what's to come, I am right now figuring that it is Toni time and her time. I have Toni Storm becoming the AEW Women's World Champion. Chris, your thoughts towards this match?
My thoughts is Thunder Rosa. I hope you get well and have a speedy recovery. This is going to still be a good match to decide the AEW Interim World Champion. And I don't see Jamie Hayter. I don't see Hikaru Shida winning this. It's either between Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Toni Storm. Overall, I'm going to say it's Toni's time. I think Toni Storm is going to be a good AEW Interim World Champion. And when Thunder Rosa gets back, it probably won't be at Arthur Stadium. Probably we'll get the unification match at Full Gear with Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa to decide the undisputed AEW Women's World Champion.
I could see that. All right. Jeff, again, we're forgetting about the original program, but we're also looking at the two participants, particularly that haven't been champion. When I look at the AEW landscape for the women's division, they need to redefine a new face for it. Britt has all the character power to remain a focal point. Hikaru Shida were respected, and she could be defending that championship on darker elevation at this point. And we also know how much she loves going over to Japan. So what's your thoughts towards this? Who should be the interim champion?
Well, as much as we've wanted to see Toni versus Thunder Rosa, we never did get a chance to see that.
Not round 2.
Yeah, exactly. So I went with the wild card on this. I got freaking Jamie Hayter winning it.
My God!
I think that this is a good time to put her over because she did have one hell of a match. And last time she faced Rosa, so I just
nose came from it. Jesus.
Exactly. So I could see round 2 with the two of them. In order to do that, Jamie Hayter has to be the interim world champion. So I've got her doing that and winning and going out as someone different as the champion. That's the key thing. Is like we were discussing this before. with other matches from the prediction league here that we've been going over. That you know you need you need a new face, and right now Thunder Rosa, I have not been impressed with her with her title reign.
It's kind
And
of
I've
been a bit underselling, to say the
yeah
least.
yeah
TBS championship has been made a big deal, it seems like, than the world, and that is weird.
exactly. So I think that having a competitor such as Jamie Hayter to challenge Thunder Rosa for the title, I mean,
For
and
anybody.
well, pretty much. um, I got to go with the underdog on this, and you literally, it's hard to call any one of these four the underdog. It
Hmm.
really is because every one of these four are very talented in the ring. But you can't really choose someone who's a champion, so that eliminates Sheeta.
Right.
Um, I don't like the fact of bringing in a former champion winning it. That would eliminate not only her but Baker, leaving Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter. Tony's still a little green, so that's one reason why I'm not going with her. I think that her time will come. It's just this is not it. So Jamie Hayter for the win, being your brand new interim women's AEW champion.
I've been saying it for the longest time since I followed Stardom and Oedo Tai. I'm a hater. Just meeting Jamie Hayter live in what was it, Cincinnati, and just talking to her about that. And also, I always appreciate a nice Brit who likes food and likes to kick ass too. Love that Lariato. She's always been one of my favorites in the industry. So I definitely approve of your Jamie Hayter fought. But again, I look at the original program, and interim, the original program is due to come back, I feel, to a degree. It's hard to go against Tony Storm. But if it becomes Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter at Opera Ass Stadium, take my damn money.
Oh, yeah,
As long as it's one of those,
absolutely.
as long as it's one of those two, I'll be personally happy. That's my biggest takeaway on this.
Right.
Simple as that. All right. Well, as we wonder the future of the women's division, we talk about, again, redefining the AEW roster, building new stars, looking at the younger talent. Will young Daniel Garcia continue forward as a sports entertainer or as a professional? Like, hey, I had to say it. You know I was going to say it. It's accurate, is it not?
You're right. You're correct.
I'm just saying. Or as a professional wrestler. Damn it, but I digress. Well, it's going to
Yeah.
come down from this stretch clinic that's going to be technical and downright a spectacle, especially when you're dealing with the Wizard Chris Jericho. But I digress more. As Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, takes on Lionheart Chris Jericho one-on-one. And I would not be surprised if Daniel Garcia is watching from afar. Let's go ahead and break this down, shall we? As we know, we saw Lionheart Chris Jericho take on Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship, and he lost. Then Bryan Danielson came back into play and faced Daniel Garcia in a TV Match of the Year candidate, 2 out of 3 falls, 30-minute classic on House of the Dragon, with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at ringside, as the Dragon Slayer took on the American Dragon. And we saw Bryan Danielson get the win in the end. Jesus, that was enough Dragon endorsement for one freaking millennium. After that, Chris Jericho, though, he did not want to see that moment of respect and took the moment away from Daniel Garcia, who didn't like that. He talked about live, as I saw in Cleveland, how Chris Jericho, he respects him as a friend, but you took that moment away from me, where me and Bryan Danielson had a classic wrestling match for practically over 30 minutes. And as Chris Jericho demanded, after first just asked for an apology, but then demanded Daniel Garcia to pledge himself as a sports entertainer. Here comes Bryan Danielson to remind him that you can be whatever you want to be, but to me, damn it, you're a professional wrestler. As I joined in the crowd live at Cleveland saying, you're a wrestler, and I still agree to this day. Fast forward, we see Bryan Danielson take on Jake Hager one-on-one. Game fight. Very fun fight. As Bryan Danielson got the win, Chris Jericho goes for the post attack with the chair. Daniel Garcia stops it. Even after saying, I pledge my loyalty, you fool, to Chris Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society, which I will admit has been pretty entertaining. Still confusing on a Jake here, but that's a different discussion for a different day. And basically, we saw what happened with Daniel Garcia having a moment of judgment and loyalty, taking the chair with Chris Jericho. Jericho eats the friggin' Psycho knee. And now the last graduate of Stu Hart will prove that he not only can be sports entertaining, he can actually win in professional wrestling against one of the best professional wrestlers in the world, who Rico calls the perfect professional wrestler. Guarantee he'll be on commentary. Bryan Danielson. In a match that no doubt will help define Daniel Garcia's future, considering Daniel Garcia takes on Wheeler Yuta for the Ring of Honor Pro Championship next week, Wednesday, in AEW Dynamite. Oh, here we go again. Yeah, I'm not betting against Bryan Danielson here. I'm not betting against the American Dragon. I have him stretching Chris Jericho out and making him tap out in front of Daniel Garcia. Jeff, your thoughts towards this match? This is going to be a classic.
Yes, this is absolutely going to be a classic. I like the fact that they're bringing back his Lionheart character, not only for this match but for the previous one that we saw. Yeah. It's something that we haven't seen from him since, well, for me, because I never really watched New Japan, it's WCW days, and I loved the WCW Lionheart Chris Jericho, and he's modernized it to where it's not much different than what we saw before. And that's why, and even with him aging and stuff, he's still got the same intensity as he had back in WCW as this character. So I highly enjoy this version of Chris Jericho as the Lionheart. But I got to go with Bryan Danielson on this. I think that this is a match that he needs to win. And he hasn't had very many losses, so we know that's going for him as well. But I don't see this as a tap out, though. I really don't see a submission. Yeah, they'll try to put their moves on them to make them submit throughout the whole match, but I don't see this ending in a submission. I see this ending as a straight up pinfall. But I also see Daniel Garcia as the deciding factor in this. Now, with the fact that when we saw this past week on Dynamite, where he interfered and cost the match there, and it's to me, I think that you're going to see I think he's playing Jericho at this point. I don't think he's no longer a sports entertainer, but I think that he's truly seeing the light, because if you see the reaction on his face when he caused the match,
yes,
and he looked right at Danielson,
who smiled back, might I add.
Who's exactly. So I'm thinking this is going to be kind of like a setup, but not to an extent, like not to a huge degree of it, but I see this as American Dragon winning this, and you're going to see Daniel Garcia finally get into the BBC. I think that's the BCC. I mean, I think that's what you're going to see.
Again, I figure about this. This is the continued war with the Blackpool Combat Club and the General Appreciation Society, and you thought that was pretty much over and done with that Blood and Guts.
Right.
But also, as Bryan Danielson said, back in Anarchy at the Arena, basically it was Jake Hager that took out the American Dragon, and Chris Jericho is just claiming the credit, as he's been pretty much doing this entire run here. And it was Lionheart that tapped out to Jon Moxley, so that's why I wouldn't rule out that type of win here. But I do definitely believe that Daniel Garcia will fight with honor as a professional wrestler next week, Wednesday on Dynamite, regarding the end of this match. Chris, your thoughts towards this? And by the way, Chris, sub-tangent, because you're a young boy here. Are you into sports entertainment or professional wrestling?
I'm into both.
Respect. All right, now your pick towards this match. I just
well, my pick for this match is it's going to be a good match between Chris Jericho and Bryan Danielson. And I'm going to tell you this: when Jericho and Danielson worked in WWE, Bryan Danielson never defeated Chris Jericho before. This is going to be his first time defeating Chris Jericho at All Out on Sunday, and I'm going for Bryan Danielson to win this match. And with Daniel Garcia, I think it's time that Daniel Garcia gets out of the sports entertainment stuff and become a wrestler. He is made to be a wrestler, and I think Daniel Garcia would be good in the Black Bull Combat Club, and I hope it happens.
All right, fair enough. So we're all in agreement here with the American Dragon, Brian Danielson, despite people thinking that we should have American Dragon Jake Lumping playing and they should be endorsed by Disney. Pass. But I digress. Too much dragon talk, all right? Just go back to Game of Thrones already, or Snowpiercer, which is Game of Thrones on a train. Anyway, I mean, James Hebert is not wrong about that. Follow TW Productions. All right. Well, Chris, I'm going to let you kick this up because you're a guy that always has a lot on your mind. Let's see if your brain explodes from this. As we wonder who will be next to challenge for the AEW World Championship, whether or not it's CM Punk in Chicago or Jon Moxley or something better. It's once again that crazy time on AEW pay-per-views, particularly All Out. Casino time, and this time it's a casino ladder match. Look at this field. Casino ladder match, folks. You have the Blackpool Combat Club being represented by Claudio Castagnoli, the Ring of Honor World Champion. You also have the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, Wheeler Yuta, who, might I add, just got a win over 3 of these other participants in fatal 4-way action with the seatbelt pin over the guy farthest on the right, Dante Martin. You also have, pretty much Dante Martin's the only one not in a faction here. Keep that in mind, folks. You have Death Triangle represented by the Lucha Brothers here, Penta, Acero Miguel, and Rey Fenix. You have Ingobernables de Facción represented here by Rush and Andrade Iglo, who, might I add, owed a tag team victory over the Lucha Brothers. And, hey, look, I found vacant. Where's that John Cena? Nah, I'm just kidding. It's a Joker, but I wouldn't be laughing about it because there's one thing I've learned in AEW, you don't bet against the Joker. So, Chris, good luck, because guess how this works, my friend? You have to have 2 picks. That's how I try and give you a little bit of grace considering this field. So your primary is worth 2 points, your secondary is worth 1, and they both have to be different. And we're simply talking about the Joker because, again, it's hard to go against AEW convention. But can they surprise us? And either way, the Joker will be a surprising new signing or letdown. Man. But overall, your 2 picks for this match to see who challenges next for the AEW World Championship. Good luck.
When they announced this yesterday on their YouTube channel, on I think on YouTube or Twitter, and I saw these superstars here, and I was like, okay, this is really hard to pick. I don't even know the betting odds favored for this match if they even came out yet. That's why it's hard. I know in the Meltdown League I did pick Claudio Castagnoli to win, but he is my pick, to be honest.
That's the primary. Now what's your secondary?
My secondary is that Joker.
All right.
And no, I am not talking about the Joker that's in the Batman movies.
Can he be trusted?
I'm
Sorry,
going for that Joker, and that's why they announced it yesterday. I didn't have time to think who's the Joker going to be.
AEW keeps you guessing.
Personally,
just try and think of one name and just leave it at that for now. Don't hurt your brain.
I'm not gonna hurt my brain. It could be. Did you say that? No, I can't. I don't know who the Joker will be.
Fickle.
I'm gonna go off with a limb here. I'm gonna say I have a gut feeling I know who the Joker is.
Okay, entertain us. Dramatic reverb. Oh wait, wrong thing. Botch.
Oh my god. It could be a new signee.
Good. It could be somebody from NJPW. It could be somebody from Impact Wrestling. It could be somebody coming back from injury. It could be somebody that will try and take themselves off the top of the ladder.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this for right now. I'm gonna say The Joker is Koto Ibushi.
Kota
All
Ibushi,
right,
that's a good
Kota
one.
Ibushi. That's pretty bold.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Jeff, let's go ahead and humor the
Okay.
AEW All Elite Fleet, shall we? So it looks like for the primary, there's been 3 key picks, and 2 of them actually are for yours, Chris. Claudio Castagnoli. One person did pick Andrade. Everybody else picked the Joker. As far as secondary, there's Andrade, there's Yuta, there's Claudio, and there's Joker. So I see who people is ruling out. Now, as far as the Joker goes, we know AEW. They work with all companies to try to showcase all companies. We have Vance Warner, from Pete's sake, for GCW challenge John Moxley, and that guy freaking made Stone Cold Steve Austin look normal. That's saying something. I'm just going to fight. What? I'm just going to keep fighting. Anyway. What? Anyway. What? All right. Kota Ibushi's very bold. I was thinking Hiromu Takahashi, who didn't get his chance during the Forbidden Door, and also he's local. He's crazy. Former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. I also thought of maybe El Desperado, who was previously involved on here before too. I thought about Dragon Lee, who had his mask ripped off by Andrade and Rouge as well. People also threw out the name Samoa Joe. I think of Impact Wrestling. I think of the X Division. I thought of Chris Bay, per se, to a degree. Maybe get a chance at this as well. So, again, the Joker could be anybody, but I keep it short, sweet, and simple. My primary, definitely Joker, but secondary, the figure is Claudio's already a world champion, my friend. He doesn't necessarily need the AEW World title, and he's Blackpool Combat Club. Just saying, Blackpool Combat Club owns the biggest gold in AEW on both Ring of Honor and AEW Turf. So my secondary actually is a guy that has not had a AEW World Championship match, Andrade. So those are my quick picks and thoughts. All right, Jeff, what about you?
Batman Joker. Ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Yeah.
Well, I've got to say my main pick is obviously the Joker, because, as you said, you don't bet against the Joker. And as you can see, I'm doing this as we're doing this online on this show. So,
oh, you're bloody brilliant.
Yeah, I know. So my Joker pick, MJF. I think he's going to return. I think he's going to return. I think this is a chance for him to return, get that nice little chip, and cash it in on John Moxley. Because I'm sorry, but MJF Moxley, I'm in on this. I am completely in on this, and not to mention, MJF deserves. He's yet to win a title. Why? You've got someone as big, a major heel in this company like him, and yet to win a title. Sorry, but he deserves a title around his waist. So that's my pick as Joker, and that's who I'm thinking of, MJF. Backup, I agree, Andrade. I think that would be the perfect one out of who's left. As much as I'd like to see Roosh go after it, which would be Roosh versus Moxley. I mean, that would be an insane match. Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it again, but I mean, it's just I don't like seeing repeated matches, especially soon. So, Andrade seems like a good choice. Dante Martin would be. I'm sure he would put up a good fight. But we don't need another 3-minute match. So I'm gonna have to go with my backup as Andrade for this one.
All right, and to be fair, Dante Martin previously challenged Heyman and Page for the AEW World Championship.
Yep.
Ray Phoenix had countless challenges for, I believe, the Trple Mega Championship once against Kenny Omega. Penta, at one point, he challenged for the TNT Championship. And Claudio Castagnoli, again, he's the World Champion, successfully defended most recently against Dustin Rhodes. Great classic match. And then Will Yuta, of course, successfully defended the Ring of Honor Pro Championship against the likes of Tony Nese and freaking Daniel Garcia back at the freaking last Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Tony Khan, get Ring of Honor off the damn ground, for Pete's sake. So I'm just saying, everybody here has had some sort of title match to a degree, except Andrade. Except for the TNT Triple Threat, which I do remember briefly, but I digress. All right, well, we'll see if something better is ahead for the AEW World Champion to consider, but I digress. Let's go ahead and move on now to what really is the second biggest thing that's the focus of this pay-per-view, as we will finally crown definitively AEW Trios World Championships. You saw the bracket when it's first laid out. You see what it now comes down to. It's now just got one last team to figure out. As we know, it will be the Young Bucks challenging whoever wins this Friday on AEW Rampage Live. It will be either the Dark Order, represented by Heyman Adam Page, now filling in for an injured Preston, taking out Evil Uno, alongside Johnny Hungy, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds join the Dark Order. Or it will be the Best Friends, in what I hope is. That's why I put them on the forum. Don't worry, I'll change if I'm wrong. Freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, and the Kentucky Gentleman, Chuck Taylor. Might I add, Best Friends, one of the strongest winning percentages, not only as a trio, but as a tag team. All right, guys, here we go. Let's go ahead and see if we get a shock to the system. That being said, we saw what happened with the United Empire last night. Good God almighty. Against the Elite, not only during Dynamite, but afterwards too. Will Ospreay said he's done for now. Something tells me Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay are not done with each other by a long shot too. That's going to definitely bounce back. We look at the Best Friends in the Dark Order. They have history since day one when the Dark Order was a darker shade of purple before Brody Lee brought them out of obscurity. Forever exalted. God rest his soul. This is weird to me because I look at continuity. Heyman and Page, formerly with the Elite, now against them. The Young Bucks, they buried the hatchet with him. They even asked him at one point to be his tag team partner in this tournament. But Heyman, he's here for the Dark Order. I believe they deserve this the most. The Best Friends, of course, they have yet to win any sort of gold themselves. How's that for something, Jeff? And also, you would think by now they would have been tag team champions at some point. And then you got the Elite, where it feels like these titles were made for them. They are the Elite per se. They're also EVPs. They have the power to a degree. But honestly, before these were even conceived, this is probably everyone's first ballot pick to be the champions. So, that being said, we're technically down to 3. But it comes down to the story. And does the undisputed Elite shock us in a way and come back into play and maybe cost them? We also know the Elite are not going into this 100%. Besides Kenny Omega, who is definitely worse for wear to a degree. God bless it. It's really hard to think that this doesn't go to the Elite. Just saying. How do you bet against them, considering that this feels like the story of them in this tournament? If Heyman and Page and Dark Order win this, I am going to be bloody shocked. If Best Friends win this, Orange Cassidy having a championship, not in a backpack maybe.
Right.
That'd be something special. Story, heart, mind, fickle. I'm not going first. Screw that. I'm the host. Right now, the Elite, huge majority, 92%. Best Friends, as I put as proposed challengers, or Dark Order. Let's just say they're going to be the same thing at this point. 7%. Chris, you're first. Who should be the inaugural AEW Trios champions?
Well, my prediction for tomorrow night on AEW Rampage is I'm definitely going for Dark Order to win tomorrow.
Fair.
And who I see being the inaugural first time AEW Trios tag titles will be my favorite team, my favorite group that I grew up with since last year, since I started watching AEW, and that is the original Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. I'm going for them, and about shocking the system with the undisputed. I think I'm just gonna say undisputed era. Bobby Fish. He is now a free agent. Since his contract expired, he's now a free agent. So, Triple H, you better call Bobby Fish back up because Bobby Fish could come back to WWE. And we haven't seen Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole recently. So, my gut's telling me maybe Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly might want out of AEW, and Triple H might be buying out their contracts to bring them all back to WWE.
That wouldn't surprise me, considering they defined the black and gold and also led victories at that Survivor Series, the best in the last decade, but I digress. Okay, again, like I said, it's hard to bet against the Elite, but which side of the internet will be in favor of that, and then the other side that will be assholes about it without any real reasoning. And then you have the side that's like, but what if these guys won it? They deserve it. I look at all three perspectives of the internet. How fitting, considering there are 3 teams left in this tournament. 2 come tomorrow night at the end of AEW Rampage. Jeff, how's the story play out for the Trios Championships? Does Heyman and Page and the Dark Order finally have a moment, or do the Elite once again prove why they are just that, the Elite?
Well, you've got 3 teams, 3 amazing teams.
Get another upset. Does Danhausen curse somebody?
Yeah, exactly. Now, my first question is, if one was to go for the Dark Order, who would we choose on the form? Dark Order is not an option. It is.
I have to. I realized I did not add them in because I say this: best friends to me have a stronger perception and connection with the entire wrestling community, especially in AEW. They also have a stronger winning percentage as a tag team. And Orange Cassidy, he is that unique anomaly that just thrives when he's in the ring and wrestling. Again, Will Ospreay and freaking Orange Cassidy had Jeff Meacham almost had an aneurysm with the fact that Orange Cassidy almost beat him for the IWGP United States Championship. So I feel that the best friends more so deserve this, and the Dark Order, maybe they could turn heel and then go after them. So I feel the best friends deserve it. That's why I put them on the form. But again, I'll probably eat my own words and change it tomorrow. So just go with either or. Bottom line, we're about the tournament finals, and we know the Elite is officially in. The bottom line, does the Elite win it or not? That's the real question.
Well, I've got first of all, I've got Dark Order moving on, and the reason why is because of Hangman Adam Page.
Fair.
And so that leaves us the Elite versus Dark Order. My opinion, the Elite does not need the Trios title. They don't need them. They don't need to be at the forefront of every championship that comes forth in the company. I understand that they were part of the inauguration of this company. I completely get it. And I was fine with that. But almost every title that you saw, someone from the Elite was at the forefront for these titles. They don't need this. However, Dark Order does. This is their last chance. In my eyes, if Dark Order does not win the Trios titles, Dark Order is done. This is their last opportunity. And with Hangman Adam Page finally now at their side, your winners of the tournament is Dark Order.
Join the Dark Order. I like how the fact that we got 3 separate picks here. But again, one of us is going to be disappointed prior tomorrow because Rampage is going to eliminate one of these 2 teams. And yes, I just added the Dark Order just a formality. Bottom line is this tournament definitely having us wondering. Definitely has been interesting. Definitely has been surprising. That's why I don't do brackets. What a load of darn it, House of Black.
So basically what I'm doing is I'm marking down best friends, but it's Dark Order, and I'll actually mention that in the comment.
Trust me, I'll make that official. I'm not Adam Pierce, but I literally got video evidence. You just said that. I'll make that official. And honestly, based on what you just said, I kind of now do agree with your point. I hope you're right. That does come down to, honestly, those 2 teams. But again, we'll see. Something's got to give when it comes to the inauguration of these titles. That honestly was the first forefront point of this paper to begin with. We'll see soon enough. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, who's been watching this on live or on demand, thank you once again for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Thank you for tuning into this whole entire session. As I again want to allude that your opinions matter too. The link is in the description down below for all 3 forms. So come join the league today. The deadlines are in there. And once again, we are talking about AEW All Out, where your predictions are due 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, September 4th. And I will be providing coverage for this on the Jeff Meacham Network. Stay tuned for more on that. We've done it all except for one thing. It is time for this video's freaking main event from the Now Arena in Chicago, Illinois. All Out. These 2 are definitely going to personify that name and bring it to a point. As the AEW World Championship is on the line one more freaking time against these 2. I am simply talking about Chicago's own Second City Saint, CM Punk, versus the guy looking to bury who he believes is a false messiah. It's finally time to start freaking talking about. I'm too tired to do Justin Roberts. Sorry. Jon Moxley, the AEW World Champion, against CM Punk. Ever since AEW was even conceived, the very first wrestler Tony Khan wanted to sign to this company was CM Punk. 1 year later, the worst kept secret in the wrestling industry gave one of the biggest pops ever seen in the wrestling community in front of 20,000 plus people on a rumor at the United Center. And then you got Jon Moxley, who's been there since AEW day one, literally Double or Nothing 2019, and is the AEW World Champion. After a fire was lit under CM Punk's ass, not only by his coach, but by his city. Is this a Rocky Balboa story to a degree, where he lost the first time, but came back for the win? Will AEW wrestling fan base, wrestling fans accept that? Now, you guys know me. I'm always about one thing: Ohio represent. I saw live last week how Jon Moxley obliterated, made the man fold in less than 3 minutes, live in Cleveland, Ohio, to claim himself as the true AEW World Champion. They literally brought out this broken, humble man who said that maybe I came back, but it wasn't enough to be. I really don't freaking know. And yes, we have, Sean. You're at the very end of the video, dude. I really don't know how to feel about this story, but personally, I feel AEW should continue at the helm, led by Jon Moxley. He absolutely deserves it. So I can talk about this all night, but it's not about me. It's about wrestling. I chose Jon Moxley to retain the AEW World Championship. 64% believe in CM Punk, while 35% believe in Jon Moxley. Heart versus Mind, Chicago versus Cincinnati, Blackpool Combat Club versus the best in the world, the most prolific, soul, blood, sweat, tears, personified professional wrestler in all of AEW versus the guy that called himself the Dollar and Cents. Hubris versus hubris. Only one will come out the best. Only one will leave as champ. The summer of Punk was halted due to the injury, but does a fall season now await instead? Or is this literally his last chance? And will Jon Moxley bury this guy once and for all? Jeff, you're first. Who leads AEW All Out as the AEW World Champion?
This is how I see it working out. The winner of the casino ladder match is the one to face, obviously, the winner of this match.
Correct.
This is why I chose MJF. MJF Punk for the title is the only thing that's left. The only match that they could have that is left to do. Therefore, I have Punk winning the title. And then MJF versus Punk for said title. And MJF finally becomes the champion.
And the face of AEW. I like that sentiment, but I also put this history towards you. MJF has already had a pinfall victory on CM Punk in Chicago. But
Twice.
He has, yes. I'll say twice. I forgot. That was totally
Twice. You gotta say twice.
Never start. Yeah, the technicality. Blah, blah, blah. But technically speaking, MJF and Jon Moxley have faced each other only one time for the title at All Out, and MJF lost. And he could say it was on technicality because the paradigm shift was banned during that, and Jon Moxley used that towards the win. I've been saying it since Double or Nothing 2019 when this championship was first shown in this company. The first original guy, true original guy, not a name known, not the one that you thought that would be right there in the front of you. But damn it, did he prove you wrong, and did you not know how great he was? Truly, when he says he's better than you, you know it. I always said it was going to be MJF. It came down to how they did, who takes it off, who he takes it off. I thought it would be him and Adam Page, considering their history since the beginning. Not to be. I thought maybe it could be CM Punk. But again, how many times do you run back CM Punk and MJF? Is that enough to move MJF over that next echelon? Or do you do it with the one guy that MJF in this company has yet to beat? And that is Jon Moxley. I do believe MJF is the next challenger for the AEW World Championship, but I believe that it will be and should be John freaking Moxley, because those two will literally go to war on a whole different degree against each other.
Right.
And that's all I got to say about that. Chris, you've been here for the entire time. You close this shindig out. Your thoughts toward this match. Who leaves AEW All Out as the AEW World Champion?
Well, this is also going to be another match that I'm going to look forward to on All Out Sunday. Punk and Moxley, yeah, on the wrestling roundtable. Definitely go and listen to one of the videos where we talked about the undisputed AEW World Championship match between Punk and Moxley, and everybody else on the video went with CM Punk. But I was a believer and go with my OHIO person, John
Represent.
Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is round number 2 between John Moxley and CM Punk.
In Chicago.
John Moxley just beat the holy crap out of CM Punk. And personally, I think CM Punk came back too soon.
Agree.
He came back too soon. He could have just rested that up until All Out, and then we would got a healthy CM Punk versus a John Moxley to unify the championships. But John Moxley, he didn't want that to happen.
No.
But here's how I think this is all going to play out. Whoever wins this match, at the end of All Out, we're going to see the return of MJF. I think MJF is returning at the end of All Out, not in the casino ladder match. Because they're not going to have, if we're watching the casino ladder match, MJF shows up. Yes, social media is going to be blowing up like crazy if MJF shows up in the casino ladder match.
There's a reason why I'm not wearing a Burberry tie, but stay tuned for Sunday, folks.
That's why MJF is not showing up in the casino ladder match, because there's no way you're going to have a big-time star in that match. That is why they're going to save MJF towards the very end of the night, where who I'm going to say is going to walk out victorious. And I'm going to say it. I am going for my OHIO person once again. I'm going for John Moxley to win this match once again. And I know on Ringside News, I saw that CM Punk is the favorite to win this match. But I keep telling people, who wants to see CM Punk versus MJF again? I don't want to see it happen again.
Polarizing discussion.
Because we're going to be seeing talking, promo after promo, the same exact thing over and over and over again. I want fresh promos out of John Moxley and MJF. That is why I think MJF John Moxley is the match that you do at Full Gear. And that is when MJF wins the AEW World Championship at Full Gear, goes all the way towards maybe around this time, maybe next year at All Out. MJF's still the champion.
Who takes it off him? Jungle Boy?
Who takes it off of him, we don't know. And if MJF is still happy in AEW, then yeah, he could stay. But if he's not, and Tony Khan just promised MJF a championship, and then you can decide what you want to do in 2024.
Just let him write out his contract, pay him from home.
I think MJF would be WWE bound. I do believe MJF is going to show up in WWE. I do believe that 100% is going to happen down the road. But I'm going for Jon Moxley to retain. And at Full Gear, we're going to get Jon Moxley versus the returning MJF. And MJF wins the AEW World Championship at Full Gear. And sorry about spoiling my prediction for the Full Gear predictions video.
I mean, is it a prediction or is it a spoiler?
Spoiler
alert. Just saying. I do think a little bit sooner, but I like your booking because you got to consider one thing else, Chris. There's a New York tour coming up, and one of the cities missing is MJF's hometown, Long Island. But Offer Ass Stadium, that's a hell of a spot to come in as the AEW World Champion.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
See. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. It bugs me that we saw Moxley with the title run. We've already seen it. Okay. We did not get a chance to see Punk with a title run. He was injured. He didn't get a chance to do a title run. This is his chance to correct what happened. And if he gets a title run, you get MJF winning that casino ladder match. You finally get Punk and MJF. Yeah, you get round 4. But this time there's a title on the line where there wasn't before. So it completely puts a new atmosphere to this feud. And I agree, the dog collar match, we thought that was the end of it. That was round 3. But in all their fights, there's been no title. This is a chance to actually put the title between the two of them. And as you said, have MJF, and like I said, have MJF win the title. It may not be immediately, but as soon as they get the chance to do it, have him win the title, and then have a decent title run for MJF. I think this is the perfect opportunity to set up that angle. Now, do I object MJF Moxley? Absolutely not. I don't, because I think that would be yet another banger, kind of like what we saw earlier, banger. But I've still got the hunch that Punk he kind of maybe set up Moxley for this, and to win the title in Chicago and start on an actual title defense run where MJF would be involved in it for the title. It only makes sense to me.
I can understand both of your points. I also think about CM Punk. Is he the good guy? Is he the bad guy? I look at the Field of Casino ladder match. You see kind of like a bit of a discrepancy where you have like heels in the face's side. And again, a lot of these men not only work with Jon Moxley, they've been in the ring with him. So I get that. But also I think about MJF. What if he was not meant to be on this show? He invades the Casino ladder match. Tony Khan can't do anything about it. He wins it and runs through the crowd blowing a kiss. And you got to wonder the next time he shows up. Something has to go down. I do agree an angle has to go down. And it feels like the one person that needs to do that angle for anything to really move forward in AEW is MJF. It almost feels like All Out is not defined by anything else on this pay-per-view but MJF showing up. And whether or not he makes a presence in the Casino ladder match or at the end of the night, driving Tony Khan's blood pressure for the rip before a post-media scrum, just saying. I feel like without MJF showing up on this show, it probably will feel empty for a lot to a degree by the end of the night. Right. It's almost like you can't define AEW's World Championship direction without MJF. That's what a lot of this stems from, it seems. Which is why, again, I try suspicion of disbelief. If they don't go that route, then maybe it's a CM Punk Rocky storyline that has a different ending. And that's why I did go with Jon Moxley, because if MJF doesn't show up, let's look at it from the other side of things. If MJF doesn't show up, you have only CM Punk or Jon Moxley right now in the AEW title picture. One has to be champion, one has not to be. And Jon Moxley, he's not heel, he's not face, he's Jon Moxley, damn it. CM Punk, you could say the same thing, but we know what CM Punk can do when he truly is a bitter, angry old man. And we haven't seen that out of him, except for one sentence. So just that not being there makes me think if CM Punk was to lose and Chicago at first supports him, but he turns his back on them, saying you guys were not enough. Or CM Punk, the people, turned his back on him because he said he came back for us, not just for a boatload of money. There's more character development, I feel like, with CM Punk in defeat than him winning. So again, there are a number of different ways this could go, MJF or not. But in my stance, with John Moxley retaining, you set up a match that MJF has yet to overcome.
Understandable. Okay.
With that being said, this definitely is the most polarizing thing this weekend. I can't wait to see what happens. And believe it or not, folks, we did it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the longest AEW. I'm tired. Botch. No DQ. Damn it. No DQ. But I digress. No DQ guys, predictions panel, City Predictin, Triple Threat edition, pre-predictions video too. Again, your opinions matter too. Find the link in the description down below. Join the league you choose to. The NXT and WWE are together in the same league. And AEW is literally a league of its own because, well, we are AEW. So get those predictions in. Before we conclude, good God almighty, gentlemen, incredible work tonight. Good luck to you both across all three of these shows too. Chris, always a pleasure. Anything you want to plug or promote, and where people find you?
Well, it's been a complete pleasure on being on here in this Triple Threat edition. We finally made it towards the very end of the night.
Holy hell!
We're gonna be in for a heck of a weekend. It starts at 1 o'clock Eastern time in the UK, in Cardiff, Wales, where I'm going to be honoring my grandpa because he passed away with cancer when I was 6 years old and when I was in kindergarten. He came from Wales, England.
Respect.
So I'm honoring my grandpa this whole entire weekend. It starts at 1 o'clock Eastern time in Cardiff, Wales. I'll be watching Clash of the Castle on Saturday. And on Saturday night, OHIO is going to defeat the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. I'm looking forward to that. And then Sunday, we go to Florida at 4 o'clock. And then after that, we got to travel to Chicago. At 7 and 8 o'clock. So there's going to be a lot of traveling going on this whole entire weekend.
Holy jet lagged.
No kidding, but you digress.
And then we're going to be back to normal again.
Thank Christ.
But
it can't come soon enough, but continue.
But it's been an honor. The next time you'll be seeing us doing a panel video, it will be for Extreme Rules next month. That's on October 8th. And then we'll be also doing NXT Halloween Havoc Premium Live Event Predictions video. That's on October 22nd. Where you guys can find me at is my Facebook, Christopher Ross, my Instagram, CMROTZ_6472. My Twitter is 2 uppercase CR lowercase OTZ24. My Snapchat is C_Rot17. It's been an honor coming on tonight. I'm getting ready for this weekend. We're going to be in for a bumpy ride. Good luck to everybody that is competing this weekend in the Predictions League. My buddy Noah Foster will keep up to date on the standings after each event, so stay tuned for that. There's winners, there's losers, whatever happens. Let's just spread. He'll take care of that, but let's just spread positive vibes, positive attitudes, and let's just live a happy, healthy life, and let's just live life to the fullest. We got our family, we got our friends, we got each other to rely on, we got God, we got everybody
and
to
professional wrestling. Damn it! But I digress.
To help us through thick and thin. And if you need any help or anything, don't be afraid to ask for help. Get the help you need. And and we'll be all here for you. I'm always here for you, Noah. I'm always here for you, Jeff. Let's just enjoy life to the fullest, and let's just enjoy the rest of 2022 with each other and to professional wrestling.
Amen to that, brother. And again, always a pleasure. Good luck to you across all 3 events. And again, Lord help us all. Jeff, always a pleasure. Holy hell, I can't believe we did it. Anything you want to plug, promote, where can people find you?
I have to hold my eyelids open. Normally I'd be in bed at this point because I got to wake up in like 6 hours.
You and me both.
Yeah. So I feel your pain. You can catch me over on Meltdown here on Facebook. We are going into, finishing up season 3, going into season 4, which the MWL draft will be September 11th at 11 a.m. And we're going to set up who is going to be on what show. And we've got an awful lot of awesome talent, awesome new talent that has joined for season 4. Like, we're already up to like 70 people. I mean, the response has been absolutely insane. We've got so many things that we want to do this season, and looks like we're going to be able to do most, if not all of it. So if you're interested, feel free to hit me up over on Meltdown. We'll get you into season 4. By doing so, just hit me up there before September 11th. Because we want to give the GMs a current roster to go by for the draft. So if you want to sign up, do so before September 11th. But yeah, you can find me over there and over in MWL. And this has been an amazing show, guys. I mean, I'm surprised I lasted through 3.5 hours. I won't lie. On the dot, yes. So. I'm very shocked that I made it this far and that my back is not killing me at this point. But as the work calls in the morning, thank God it's Friday tomorrow, and we've got a hell of a weekend coming up. It's going to be so relaxing to watch wrestling this weekend. It's been relaxing all week. This has been the week to be a wrestling fan. Right now, with WWE turning that corner and showing ratings now, with AEW putting on stellar performances with NXT, the Invasion of UK coming in. This has been the week to watch and be a wrestling fan, because this is what it's all about right now. This weekend is the triple threat. This weekend is going to be something that every wrestling fan will remember for years to come. I guarantee you that what's happening this weekend will never be forgotten. And you guys, this is going to be a wild ride. Buckle up.
Bottom line, simple as that. Thank you. Well said, Jeff. And again, folks, thank you again for tuning into this entire ride or coming at any time. Love to hear your thoughts, your comments, your predictions in the comments down below. Or again, come join the leagues too. Again, this is a triple threat of a stacked weekend in professional wrestling, and your opinions matter too. So come join in any of the events in the league. As you can see, I have the appropriate times all set up for you too. So come be a part of the Clash of the Castle. See what happens when worlds collide. Or if you can stand it, let's go all out. So get those predictions in and come be a part of the fun. And if you want to know more about me, know this. I am just a simple man and a lifelong fan of, what's the words I'm looking for? Oh, yeah. Professional wrestling! Damn it! But I digress. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Foster1916 for all things wrestling. Shout out, of course, to my ACW family on Twitter. We'll be back this weekend live with our monthly special, the ACW Review Impromptu, where we will be discussing this last month in pro wrestling. Lord help us. And also predicting AEW All Out as a whole, too. I'll be back on the Daily Slam, of course, bringing continued coverage of all elite content, including a recap review of the live AEW Rampage that happens tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then, of course, we have the countdown following that. And then this weekend, we go straight to work, at least I do, on the Jeff Meacham Network, as I will be bringing you play-by-play coverage during the special preview predictions for Clash the Castle. That's already happened on Championship Network. Go check that out. But there'll be live commentary reactions with me and JJ, the Renegade, for Clash at the Castle. Saturday, September 3rd. Again, the pre-show begins at noon. We also have the season finale of Open Mic Night Saturday night, September 3rd, 8 p.m. Disneyland time. And of course, Sunday, Lord help my voice, double feature straight on from 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till it all is over too. I bring you play-by-play live commentary reactions for both Worlds Collide and AEW All Out back-to-back too. Again, Lord help me. And if you haven't already, some little simple plugs. Follow James Hubert and his promotions, FTW Productions. Follow the Daily Slam on Twitter and on YouTube for your continued coverage, especially in all the content and Dante's reviews of Impact Wrestling. Great show tonight too. And of course, follow the Mad General, the New Normals group, Armbar. That's Armbar, ARMBAR, exclamation point. Don't forget it. And of course, continue following my simple YouTube channel right here on YouTube for all sorts of fans wrestling on demand or live every week throughout. And as always, I'd like to conclude, there are no winners, no losers, no betters. There are just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another and respect each other and say yes to no to Q. And just enjoy live and enjoy professional wrestling too. It's as simple as that. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hit the bell as this video goes live or on demand on this channel or across any channel in the Jeff Meacham multiverse of media. Hit the subscribe button, help me keep growing this user community. Shout out to all 250 of you. That's going to be as fun user creation straight. It's not leaving anytime soon. And thank you to those so far that's been in the All Out League for AEW, where I see comments for MJF returns. All Out, the biggest, most anticipated pay-per-view of the year by far. That's probably a fact. Better than you. And Dark Order to win it all. Okay, gee, I wonder who said that. But again, I will say this, as MJF says, we deserve better. And we're going to get better in all things professional wrestling. That's a guarantee. So with that, folks, it's been a fun ride. It's been an awesome show, awesome conversation where we went all out, Worlds Collide, and the Clash 2. I finally bid you all now a fine adieu. Until next time, somewhere else on the internet, or Twitter too, for Christopher Ross, for Jeff Chadwick, for the Four Horsemen, including Mark Griffith, and everybody involved in the No DQ Galaxy predictions panels, then, now, forever together. And that's a fact, Jack. Make a positive impact in life and have a good night. Enjoy the weekend that's ahead and enjoy professional wrestling. And gentlemen, both of you, go to freaking bed.
Well, I plan on it.
Goodbye and good night.